Here we go with the opening race of the night then. Antonio Lindback off the inside in red. Lots of support for him from this Swedish crowd tonight. Jason Doyle going off gate number 2 in blue, the series leader by that 3-point margin. Piotr Pawlicki looking to bounce back after this disappointing Cardiff performance off gate 3. And Freddie Lindgren, another one of our Swedish contingent tonight, going off the outside. And Lindgren, by the way, does ride in the Swedish League for Dakarna here at the G&B Arena in Malilla. And plenty of racing lines available to these riders. It should be one heck of a meeting. Kelvin Tatum.
Absolutely, really thoroughly looking forward to it. And Freddie Lindgren, the home favourite, of course, he goes from the outside. Has had a good campaign. Change of equipment for Freddie tonight, back on GMs. Fancies that they are a little bit more competitive. We will see how he gets on. Pawlicki in gate 3 needs a big night. Doyle gate 2, what a season he's having. And Antonio Lindback, if he recaptures the World Cup form, it could be his night. Big heat number 1.
Here we go. It's the 10 Tools Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Heat number 1. Away first time of asking, and that is a super start from Lindback, and up the inside goes Lindgren. What a move from Freddie Lindgren from gate number 4, and now Doyle has to get off the gas to avoid Lindgren. Lindback, though, has the lead. It's a Swedish 1-2 right now. Antonio Lindback in the red helmet colour, denying Freddie Lindgren here, who was very smart and very clever with the way that he chopped across from the outside, and Jason Doyle is third.
It's the sort of move we see Ty Woffinden do on a regular basis. He didn't get away from gate 4 particularly well, Freddie Lindgren, but his home track advantage certainly paid there because he chopped to the inside and grabbed the lead, momentarily lifted, and that allowed Antonio Lindback to stamp his authority on the race. Doyle in third place is working overtime with Pawlicki. He is detached, but Antonio Lindback is starting in fine style here. This is a really encouraging ride for him.
Yes, he has got his World Cup form here. He's been poor in the Grand Prix so far. Disappointing series for him, but what a win. And it's a Swedish 1-2 in the opening race. No wonder the Swedish flags are flying here in Malilla. That was a good ride from Lindback, a good ride from Lindgren as well.
Very good.
Took up the running there, with Jason Doyle picking up third spot and Piotr Pawlicki at the back. But look what it means to Antonio Lindback, a very passionate rider.
Yeah, and his form in the Grand Prix hasn't been that good, and that's why we're talking about his World Cup form, because that's been outstanding, and Lindback starts in fine style.
Lindback, Lindgren, Doyle, Pawlicki. That's the result of the opening race of the night. So 3 points for Antonio Lindback. And in the Grand Prix, with 16 riders here, you generally work on 8 or 9 points to get you through to the semi-finals. Well, generally, Woffinden got 9 in Cardiff and didn't make it, but Antonio Lindback with a perfect start.
Yeah, heat number 1 gets away, but you just watch the move here from Freddie Lindgren as they roar into the first corner. Nice move, but he lifts here at a crucial moment there, and that just kills his momentum enough for Lindback to then sweep round the outside. Again from the tapes, Lindback is on the inside. Great move here from Freddie Lindgren. He makes that decision quite early to go back to the inside, and now that cost him a possible win, that lift. But 2 points from gate 4, he'll be pleased with that. 3 points for gate 1 from Antonio Lindback. As you rightly say, effectively a 5-1 to the Swedish boys here in the opening race. And Lindback looking good, and he'll be pumped with that. He's a confidence rider, and the ideal way to start.
Yeah, he's just found the going a little bit tough with the emergence of the Polish sensations like Patryk Dudek, and of course the improvement of Maciej Janowski, the return to the top table of Emil Sayfutinov, Bartosz Marslik as well. And here is Patryk Dudek, who has been up at the top of the table virtually all season with Jason Doyle, and he'll seen that Doyle has just dropped a couple of points in his opening ride. This man, Martin Smolinski from Germany, coming in to this Grand Prix as a replacement for reigning champion Greg Hancock, who has that shoulder injury. And Smolinski is off the inside in red. Patryk Dudek goes off gate 2 in blue. He's level in second place in the World Championship with a man alongside him, Maciej Janowski. Gate 3 in white, 75 points apiece, and Ty Woffinden, twice world champion, on 57 points. I wonder if he'll take the same route as Lindgren and try the big cutback.
Yeah, well, no, you probably get quite short odds on that, in truth, because gate 4 can be quite a challenge here. Dudek has been outstanding, Janowski brilliant in Cardiff, and Martin Smolinski, this is a bit of a baptism of fire for your first Grand Prix ride. Top quality on the outside of him. Yeah. Start Marshall a little bit impatient there, wants Janowski just to move forward. Here we go.
Heat number 2 here in Malilla. Green lights on.
Oh,
Little bit of a nibble at the start line there, perhaps, but Dudek has got the lead. Now here comes Ty Woofenden around the outside in yellow. Smolinski is third, and what about this from Woofenden? What a move from the British rider. That was sweet as you like. Dudek is second, Smolinski third, and Janowski is struggling with a bike problem, it appears.
yeah, clutch has burnt out.
Yeah.
Clutch has burnt out completely. That is not good news for Janowski. You can smell it, and you can see the smoke coming off it. Great move from Woofenden. Brilliant round the outside. Dudek was away initially. Looked like a slightly unsatisfactory start, but the referee, Artur Kuśmierzyk from Poland, allows it to go. Woofenden out in front, being chased hard by Patrick Dudek.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden, absolutely magnificent. Celebrated his 27th birthday on Thursday, and he is riding superbly. Just lost it a little bit there, but he's got enough lead, enough advantage to afford that little slip, and he's going to take the checkered flag. And Great Britain's Ty Woofenden winning convincingly, and that is a great start because, as you said, Kelvin, there's a lot of track to get to that first turn from gate 4.
Absolutely.
And it was a lovely move the way he got the drive and went round the outside down the back straight.
Indeed he did. He allowed the bike to run. He's very adapted, actually, carrying speed through the corners, Ty Woofenden, and he thoroughly enjoyed himself there in his opening ride. Heat 2 goes the way of the Brit. Bad luck for Janowski.
Yeah, indeed. Ty Woofenden the winner. Patrick Dudek was second. Martin Smolinski third. And Maciej Janowski retired with a burnt-out clutch, and we can still smell that from here.
Yeah,
up in the commentary box.
Yeah, he'll be gutted about that because, you know, he was won so well in Cardiff, but Woofenden won't be worried.
Is it a faulty clutch that burns out like that, or what is it?
Well, I don't know. It looked like it was having problems right from the word go. There was smoke there, so whether... It's very different. Normally they are so precise, and clearly the clutch is a hugely important part of the bike, particularly with the RPM these bikes have these days. But you can see there right from the word go, Janowski's got problems, and I wouldn't like to say that just immediately he is underpowered. You can see there, no drive, the clutch is slipping right from the moment. So no doubt that there was an issue before he even got to the tapes. But for this man out in front, Ty Woofenden was very classy here, comfortable in front. Dudek gained a little as the race went on. He spun up a little early on, and that allowed Woofenden to come around the outside. But the former two-time world champion looked top class in heat number 2.
Yeah, very stylish indeed. Rides for Masana here in the Swedish Elite Series. We are hearing that Janowski has been given a warning as well, because, well, quite clearly the referee felt that he was moving at the start.
It may have been as a result of the clutch problem.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Heat 3, Emil Sayfutinov is the rider in the yellow helmet here, very much in for Matti Zagar, goes off the inside gate, and it's a big opening race for Linus Sundström, who goes in blue. He's the wild card tonight for this Swedish Grand Prix. We're back in Sweden in September as well for the Grand Prix at Stockholm at the Friends Arena. Very much looking forward to that. Heat number 3. Here's your lineup then. Off the inside, Matti Zagar in the red helmet colour has just clawed his way back up to the edge of the top 8. Linus Sundström goes off gate number 2 in blue. Bartosz Szmarslik, gate 3 white from Poland. And Emil Sayfutinov, the Russian, the brilliant Russian. He goes off gate number 4 on 58 Grand Prix points. And certainly good to see him back in the Grand Prix series, that's for sure. Heat number 3, here we go. Take tries, and it's a good start from Sundström in blue, but he's been shoved wide by Zagar. That allows Szmarslik the opportunity up the inside. Lovely move from Bartosz Szmarslik in the white helmet colour now. Charging hard around the outside is Matti Zagar, under pressure here from Linus Sundström, and Emil Sayfutinov is at the back, and it's a Zagar, how's he stayed on the bike?
I don't know, and that allows Sayfutinov to come right up the inside. An opportunist moment for the Russian, because he was at the back. Linus Sundström and Zagar all over the place. Sundström looked like he's got some speed, but he's now buried back in traffic. Szmarslik has taken full advantage here. He has got away at the front with the Russian Sayfutinov in second place. Zagar, though, now out the back. How on earth did he stay on his motorbike?
Bartosz Szmarslik looking very, very smooth, and he'll be really looking forward to a fortnight tonight on his home track in Gorzów, the Edward Janczak Stadium in Poland, and he has just pulled off a fine win in his opening ride of the night. Sayfutinov was a big winner from that collision between, not quite collision, but the coming together of Zagar and Sundström, and how Zagar maintained control of the bike to stay on it was a miracle in itself. But Bartosz Zmarzlik with a fine win, and he needed that because he's in 7th place in the World Championship, moving on to 61 Grand Prix points all told now, and he looked very smooth, very stylish indeed there, but there was a real risk at one stage there with the way Sundström and Zagar were going for it, but somebody, as in Zagar, may well have come down. Zmarzlik the winner, Sayfutinov was second, 3rd place was Linus Sundström, and Matti Zagar trailed in at the back. It's a fine ride for Zmarzlik. He is one of 3 race winners now.
And indeed he is, and he makes a very good move here with Zagar forcing Linus Sundström very wide in the first corner. The gap opens up for him, and he's able to turn to the inside, and he gets his wheels in line, and he fires himself to the front. Zmarzlik out in front. Now we're seeing the battle between Linus Sundström and Zagar. Zagar almost turning the bike inside out there. There is contact between the 2 riders. Sundström came hard underneath him, and Zagar was very fortunate there to have stayed on, clearly unhappy, but the winner there, as you rightly say, Nigel, was Sayfutinov. He was able to slip up the inside, and then he was able to get him into a nice, comfortable 2nd place, and 2 points to the Russian. He'll be very thankful for that. But Zmarzlik was impressive. He was impressive in Cardiff. He's found the first half of the season, in truth, tough. The world number 3 from last season, but an excellent start for him.
I think Zagar, I think it's fair to say he will store that upstairs.
Well, Sundström was hard coming in there on the inside. They ran across the corner. I don't think that made Zagar pull such a big locker, but there was then contact because Sundström had come in with such speed. But fortunate for both of the boys to stay on.
Certainly was. Seat number 4 coming up, Niels Christian Iversen is off the inside gate, and by his own standards, a disappointing season for Niels in the Grand Prix series. Peter Killerman, an injury replacement for Nicky Pedersen. He goes off gate 2 in blue. Chris Holder gate 3 white. Martin Vasilik outside yellow. And it is with no Greg Hancock and no Nicky Pedersen. Going down the years with Greg and Nicky and Tony Ricardson, Thomas Gollop, Jason Crump. You know, one of those riders has been in every Grand Prix for years and years, and they're not here tonight. Yep, they're not here tonight, and it's only the 2nd Grand Prix that Greg has ever missed. I tell a lie, Greg is here, but he's not riding, and it's good to see him. Heat number 4, here we go. Well, Killerman looked as though he was just rolling at the start, but the referee's allowed it to continue, and Iversen has made the start nicely now. Vasilik is going to take up the running in yellow. Can he get around the outside of him? It's a lovely move, but Iversen really has spotted the opportunity to block that challenge. Vasilik 2nd, Killerman 3rd, and Chris Holder of Australia is the man of the pack.
Martin Vasilik's a man on a mission, though, in 2nd place. Niels Christian Iversen had to be ruthless there and slam the door shut, but got to say, Vasilik has got speed. Holder is now coming under an awful lot of pressure from Peter Kilderman, who was rolling on the start line. Half a mistake there from Iversen. Vasilik pounces up the inside. The Slovakian there just gets the better of him. Can the Danish man respond? He's just won the Danish championship for the 6th time. Up the inside. Brilliant speedway out in front.
Down the back straight they go. Can Vasilik get the drive? Turning into 3 and 4. Iversen, has he done enough? Will Vasilik get him on the inside? Great ride by the Danish champion.
Proper speedway.
Yep, indeed. Niels Christian Iversen, superb ride. Kelvin spot on there. He won his 6th Danish title only last week. Congratulations to Niels for that. And that was a superb effort because he really had to work overtime there with Vasilik absolutely all over him. But certainly at the start, Peter Killerman was rolling there. These riders really must learn because the regulations on the start line are stricter than ever before. Iversen, Vasilik, Holder was 3rd there after a battle with Peter Killerman. That's how it looks then. The race winners so far, Ty Wolfenham, Bartosz Zmarzlik, Antonio Limbach and Niels Christian Iversen.
So the second half of the GP series is underway after 4 heats in Malilla, Sweden. The series leader, Jason Doyle, adding just 1 point. We're back after the break.
Jorge Lorenzo loves noughts and crosses, but it can't match the buzz of MotoGP.
Oh, we are in for a cracker! Is he going to be a hero, or will he go to 0? Unbelievable!
Explore the mind of a thrill seeker at the Grand Prix of Austria, only on BT Sport.
Someday this light's going to get me killed.
Absolutely fantastic. The best film of 2017.
But not today.
Atomic Blonde in cinemas now.
There's one thing we all have in common. We love our hair. So if we start losing it, we're going to do something about it.
Hi, welcome to the Belgravia Centre.
Contact us for a free consultation or go online. Hair loss? Belgravia Centre.
You can find us in every corner of the world. Watching, listening, analysing. We are everywhere. And we see everything. We are members of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and we gamble responsibly at Bet365.
Approaching drop zone, stand by.
At BOTB, someone wins their dream car every week, guaranteed.
Releasing the prize.
With over 180 dream cars to choose from, tickets start from just £1.25. £22 million of prizes have already been won.
Congratulations, Andy, you're this week's winner. I can't believe it.
Enter now and get £5 for free at botb.com.
At Currys PC World, our built-in installation is just half price. That's the UK's lowest installation price on built-in products from any major retailer. This hotpoint oven delivers perfectly even cooking results, thanks to its innovative multi-flow technology. With direct flame technology, this hotpoint hob provides instant heat and faster cooking times. Plus, for a limited time only, get an extra 10% off the mark price on hundreds of hotpoint built-in appliances. At Currys PC World, we help you get it right.
This is where women's tennis lives. The WTA Tour continues live on BT Sports.
Welcome back to round 7 of the Speedway Grand Prix Series here on BT Sport. It was a Heat 2 win for GB's Ty Woofenden. Let's hear from him now. He's with Kiri Bloor.
Ty, fantastic first heat. Gate 4 didn't seem to cause any problems for you.
No, it was all right. There's a little bit of grip there and, yeah, just made it work. So, yeah, another good first race. A few more to go.
How's it feeling out there? The crowd are obviously buzzing.
Yeah, there's a nice atmosphere here. It always is at Malilla. It's a little bit different to, like, Cardiff and Warsaw because this is outdoor, but it's still a great Grand Prix to come to and probably the best racing out of all the Grand Prix.
Just had a little wobble on your last lap. What happened?
Oh, I was just spinning a bit, hit a bit of a rut, so lifted a little bit, but yeah, it's nice that the bike's working the way it should.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
Ty Woofenden there, and there's been a bit of a debate in the studio here on what he's actually riding.
Yeah.
You're convinced, though, he's riding what?
I reckon he's on a Fleming Gravison tonight, by
Okay.
the looks on it. We've just freeze-framed the picture there, and I think he's on a Fleming.
OK, well, let's take a look at heat number 2 then. Oh, he certainly looked quick, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly looked more like his old self when he come around the outside. I think when he's got into this position in the past, he's normally, you know, he hasn't had the speed, but he seems to have got the speed there. And I would say Dudek's, he's another one on the same engine tuner. That's Gravison, and he's on Gravison engines. So yeah, he's coming around the outside there, and he's looking, and obviously he's got the run there. And he's pulled away. He's done really well.
We talked about whether it might be beneficial for Ty to be racing a little bit more, but he's been talking about his move of clubs in Sweden has certainly helped him. He's enjoying riding in Sweden. That could stand him in good stead tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He's enjoying himself. He's getting he's racing more now at the moment. As I said, we thought he was struggling whether he had enough meetings, but they seem to be coming in thick and fast at the moment.
Is it too late for him to turn things around? We spoke a little bit earlier in detail about Ty's season so far. We have seen him turn it around before. He was 24 points behind Christoph Kasperzak in 2014, but after 2 rounds. He's never been this far behind at this stage of the season, has he?
Well, if you, as I said, you know, if he's got this speed at the moment and keeps going, who knows? It is a big ask, but he's been there, he's done it, he knows how to do it. So he could potentially do it, but that depends if the others don't slip up. As we see, Doyley had a third there in the first run. Generally has a bit of a slow start and then starts coming and make things hard for himself and comes off the worst gate, doesn't he?
Not a slow start for Bartosz Zmarzlik, who you are predicting will be the dark horse this evening.
Yeah, when we were sat in our little room having a chat, I've seen him recently and he seems to have turned it around. He came in and I think everybody expected him to really, hit the ground running. Another one. But then he sort of gone off form, but he had a good World Cup. He had a fantastic World Games. I was there at both of them. And, yeah, it was... I think, and we were seeing him there, he won that race, and I think he's the one for sure.
Do you think that's been the turning point in his season, the World Cup and the World Games, and a better round, of course, in Cardiff? Because, as you said, there was big things expected of him in this second year, especially after what he did last year in his first year of the Grand Prix Series. But been a disappointment so far. Even Darcy Warder predicted him to be the world champion. So, elect at this year's series.
That's right. Yeah, I think everybody was expecting that. I think he's. I don't know what he's done. He's done something, but he's certainly coming back into really good form, and I think he's a one to watch.
Okay, we are ready for our next lot of racing. Heat 5 is coming up live from Malilla in Sweden. Hoping to hear on commentary from Greg Hancock very shortly as well. But first, let me hand you back to Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Yes, welcome back to our British viewers here in Sweden this evening, the G&B Arena. It's heat number 5. We'll bring in our very special guest very shortly. Martin Vasilik on the inside, Antonio Limbach gate 2, a winner first time out, Martin Smolinski gate 3 in white, and Bartosz Zmarzlik is off the outside in yellow and black. Kelvin Tatum alongside me as always. I'm delighted to be joined by 4 times world champion Greg Hancock, who is going to join us for the next few heats to analyse the action along with Kelv. Greg, what about the race for the title? The way it's shaping up here, it's so tight at the top, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really tight there. I mean, it's nice to see that too. I mean, in this field, anything can happen right now. But Jason and Patrick, they've been running the show for a while, and I'm personally really happy to see Maciek jumping up there too, because I'm always got a soft spot for that kid.
Absolutely, Greg, because obviously you've tutored him along the way, but his performance in Cardiff was winning at Cardiff, of course, is extra special, and that was a great ride from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming on in leaps and bounds. I mean, he seems to have these one-day tracks mastered so far. He's got a great engine combination, and the kid's he's a quick learner. He's figuring it out, and the best is yet to come.
Yep, super. Boys are just settling down nice now for heat number 5.
Yep, so every rider has had one outing so far. We move on to heat number 5 then here. Can Antonio Limbach make it 2 wins out of 2? Can Zmarzlik make it 2 wins out of 2 as well? Heat number 5 it is then. We wait for the green light. Here we go. Great start from Vasilik. Look at Zmarzlik around the outside in yellow. Can he hit the front as Limbach tries the inside run now? Wheel to wheel down the back straight. That's great stuff with Martin Vasilik in red and Antonio Limbach in blue. They're turning on the start here. Zmarzlik third in yellow. This is great speedway, Cal.
Martin Vasilik really hustling the bike there to get the better of Antonio Limbach. Limbach coming back for more, charging hard up the inside there, going into turn 3. Zmarzlik now getting himself in amongst it as well. But Greg, Martin Vasilik, change of equipment, change of engine tuner, looking good here.
Yeah, it seems like it's been the right change for him right now too. And then Antonio too, for me, he looks like he's got the speed on him, but just not that much room for passing right now.
Vasilik out in front though, Nigel. Certainly Antonio Limbach coming at him.
He's going to prove me wrong.
Wheel again into turn 3 and 4. He needs to try and lock the bike up to deny Vasilik, who's coming down to the line.
Great
Proper
race.
speedway in hit number 5 again. Superb action out in front. That's what this place is all about.
Absolutely. I got to say, the track looks probably the best and most consistent I've ever seen it for a Grand Prix. And like I said, Antonio looked like he had the speed there, but I didn't know if there was enough room for passing, and he got it.
Well, different lines as well. He did, yeah.
He sure did. He found
different racing lines here at this G&B Arena. The riders must love racing here, Greg.
It's a great track. I mean, this has always been one of the best, probably Grand Prix events, I think, like that. You always get good racing, and fortunately, this time there's no rain.
Yeah, Kelvin and I were just saying we were a bit concerned about the forecast yesterday. We're all checking our phones, looking at the forecast, but thankfully we've we've got a clear night. So 2 wins out of 2 now for Antonio Lindback, and he's not done that often enough this season, has he, Antonio? It's good to see him back at his best.
Absolutely. I mean, his starts are his bonus. Look at that. I mean, the guy who drops the clutch normally perfect, and that one there didn't quite go as good, but he's got the speed, and it feels like he's in a good place in life right now too, and that's great to see it, because that kid's he's got a bag of talent.
Yeah, we watch this through. This is from the tapes again. He clutches it pretty hard there. The bike lifts, digs in, actually kills his momentum a little bit and allows a Martin to get to that first corner. But quite clearly he's full of confidence here, Greg, because he charges hard up the inside. And this was a real good tussle out in front.
Yeah, really good. It was a great race. And like you said, Antonio, I don't think anybody works harder on the clutch than that guy does. And that was proof. But he over-anticipated a little bit there, and it got the better of him, but didn't matter in the end.
I've never really been a mad favourite of taking the right foot off the foot peg. And we saw that quite a lot there. I don't know what you think about it, but certainly I tried it once practicing, and I very nearly fell off. So that's crikey at full speed. I don't really get it.
That's probably our old school coming out. You know, we were taught that you got to stand on the footrest to make the bike work and keep the pressure on the bike and make the thing get the grip. And our modern day riding styles just don't work that way.
Yeah, well, certainly proved me wrong, because he won the race again. He's unbeaten, so he's flying tonight.
Yeah. I don't know how they can do it. You know, I mean, it makes the bike very, very unbalanced when you do it. And I even do it myself from time to time, but I do that in a panic mode.
Killerman, Zagar, Doyle, and Janowski is your lineup for heat number 6. What was Kelvin like to ride against, Greg?
Can't remember that long ago.
Well, I can honestly say that to riding against him was tough, because most of the time when I got to ride with him, I was behind him, so it wasn't that easy. But I had a few good moments with him, and I think the first 5-1 I ever had with Eric Gunderson was in front of him, so I don't want to remind him of that.
I was on the terraces cheering it on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. 2 against 1 here. Tough crowd, very tough crowd. Here we go.
Heat number 6 then here. Which way will this one go? Great start from gate number 3, Jason Doyle, but Killerman's there, and he's going to take out Doyle wide. Janowski is now going to try to dive down the middle, and look at him go down the back straight. Janowski now has pulled through and has that advantage here. He's under pressure, though, from Killerman, who's coming hard around the outside. Zagar is third, and Jason Doyle fighting tooth and nail to try and stay on the pace, but Janowski looking good down the back straight now.
Yeah, fabulous ride from Janowski. He needed to bounce back, and he's doing it in style. He had a clutch problem in his opening outing. He came charging out of gate. Heat turn number 2, fired himself to the front. Doyle's out the back. This is a problem for Doyle. He's going to drop valuable World Championship points right now, Greg.
Yeah, that's right, for sure there. You can see that Maciek's definitely fixed his clutch problem that he had in his first heat, and that's more of the magic that you've been seeing these last few weeks. And tough run for Doyle, though.
Yeah, really tough for Jason Doyle, but Matej Janowski, man who learnt a lot of his trade from the man alongside us, Greg Hancock, takes the checkered flag, and he needed that as well, Greg, after that burnt-out clutch in the opening race. He'll feel a lot better now. He's got 4 laps under his belt and 3 big points.
Yeah, and I saw him after that last heat there, and I saw the frustration in his eyes, so he was determined to get it back. This is his home track in Sweden. He knows it well, and the kid's on form, so nobody likes to take a 0.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Janowski, and I think that's why he's a genuine World Championship contender, because showed great character there after a disappointing start.
Yep, the result is Matej Janowski the winner. Peter Killerman was second, third Matej Zagar. Third place was Matej Zagar with Jason Doyle at the back, and it means that Antonio Lindback leads on 6 points, and Matej Janowski has got his first points of the night on the board, and he will be absolutely delighted to bounce back after his retirement in his opening ride with 3 big points. Kelvin, talk us through it and bring Greg in afterwards.
Well, super start initially from Peter Kilderman, ruthless in the first corner, charges up the banking, but that opens the door, and Janowski strikes, and he gets his wheels in line, he powers to the front, again from the tapes. He's coming from the outside, not always easy days. He's had a sneaky look twice to the left.
Plan B is always the ultimate option when Plan A doesn't go to form, right? And he was quick to pull off Plan B there. He had the speed, and he did it really early, and no hesitation, so I'm not surprised at all.
But he's a classy-looking rider, isn't he? He's had some time in the UK. He's got that conventional style with a leg forward. To me, that's how the bike should be ridden.
He's definitely, you've hit the nail on the head there, and that kid, I'm glad that he went to England and spent the years that he did there. I think everybody should, as I've said in the past, you should be in England at some point in your career to really get a good feel. It's like the education, installing the software, you got to do it.
Part of the apprenticeship, And there's no doubt that Janowski spent plenty of time there winning the championship with the Pool Pirates, of course. And he has bounced back nicely there with the 3 points on the board.
And even killed him in there. It was pretty impressive because, you know, he's trying to get it going there too, and he did all the hard work and made it tough for Doyle in the first corner and opened the door for everybody.
Really is fascinating listening to Kelvin and Greg, the men who've been there and ridden the bike for all those years. Linus Sundström off the inside in red here. Niels Christian Iversen, gate 2 in blue. Patrick, the dude, Dudek off gate 3 in white. And Piotr Pawlicki going off the outside in yellow. This is heat number 7.
Quick word about, what are your thoughts about Patrick Dudek? He hasn't ridden in the UK, but there's no doubt that he rides extremely well.
Yeah, he does. That kid, I got to ride with him in Zlonogora a few years back too, and he's a quiet kid, very pretty shy, but you know what? There's a lot going on in that kid's head, and it's showing.
Well, there's no doubt this year he's been in exceptional form, and he's right up there challenging for the title. Here we go, settling down.
Yep, watch out for Sundström off the inside as well. He had a lot of speed in his opening ride. This is heat number 7, and it's a superstar from Sundström. Sundström hits the front, but look at this for a switch from Pawlicki. From the outside to the inside, and Dudek's coming up strong! Patrick Dudek joins Pawlicki at the front of the race here, and the man in red, Linus Sundström, is still very much in contention with Niels Christian Iversen. All 4 riders going for it here, and it's so hard to predict this meeting tonight. Oh, look at them.
Crashing Iversen now getting in amongst it, dives up the inside of Linus Sundström. Good ride from Pawlicki here, he needs one. And no doubt Cardiff was inexplicably 1 point to his name, looking fast out in front, and Dudek recovered well in that first corner.
He sure did. Those plan Bs, again, that got the better of it, and for him, you know, he's got his work cut out for him with Pawlicki there, but again, this track's not a lot of dirt on it, but look how good the racing is.
Brilliant racing, and Pawlicki's having to work hard out in front.
He is indeed, with Patrick Dudek piling on the pressure here, but Piotr Pawlicki takes that checkered flag from the man in white, Patrick Dudek, and Niels Christian Iversen third, and such is the competitiveness of the racing here. Linus Sundström was threatening for the lead early on and ended up last in that race. It really is so unpredictable and very, very exciting to watch, both here in the stadium and hopefully hopefully at home where you are as well, watching the action here. We've got Greg Hancock in commentary alongside Kelvin Tatum, and Greg's going to stick around for this next race, heat number 8, for us as well, which is good of him. The Pawlicki, the race winner, second place Patrick Dudek, third was Niels Christian Iversen. So Lindbach still leads the meeting on 6 points, but certainly, Kelv, the action superb there.
Yeah, first turn was where it really happened, and the tapes are up and we come charging towards the first corner, and it's 3 abreast as they get there with Linus Sundström running up wide. Pawlicki, the plan B, as Greg calls it, works a treat.
For both of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's Patrick Dudek charging up the inside, pushing hard as they go into turn 3. Again, talk us through it.
Well, you're pushing me hard here, and I get all excited just listening to you guys go. I just want to ride even more now. So anyway, no, their plan B worked perfectly for the two of them there. And again, the racing, you can see there's not a lot of dirt there, not at all, but the racing stays pretty tight, pretty close, and this track offers a lot of options. So
Sure.
It's pretty fun to see it like this.
No ruts, no holes.
Fantastic.
Guys that can race really close to each other with confidence. And when that happens, we see some really special stuff. And this lineup, Greg, this year, has it been stronger? Has it been tougher?
You know what? I can't say that it's stronger or tougher because I've been in some pretty tough and strong lineups over the past, but the consistency of this group is far more consistent than we've ever seen.
Maybe the depth.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You've always had sort of 6, 8 guys that can win the championship, but this year it looks like 15.
Exactly. There's no guaranteed points, no easy heat wins anymore. Not that there ever was, but this year, man, every point is so hard to get.
Right, so heat number 8 coming up. Greg's going to stick around for this race before shooting off to enjoy the rest of the evening here at the G&B Arena. Freddie Lindgren goes off the inside here. One of the home heroes. Ty Woffenden, gate 2 in blue. Emil Seifutin gate 3 in white. And Chris Holder going off the outside in yellow. 2 world champions in this one, Ty and Chris. Freddie Lindgren off the inside gate, who rides here for Dakar in the Swedish League. Looking for a big display in this one off the inside gate.
Solid opening ride for Freddie off the outside gate. He's got the inside gate, he'll be looking for more. Emil Seifutin and Woffenden going head-to-head here, gates 2 and 3. Those two a few years ago, going for the championship. Here we go, heat number 8.
Yep, heat number 8 it is then. Woffenden a winner first time out. What can he do here off gate number 2? It's a good start from Lindgren. And wheel to wheel with Woofenden, who goes wide. Seifutinov tries the clever switch up the inside. Woofenden's got pace down that back straight, but Lindgren is looking superb. Freddie Lindgren holding the line now. Woofenden and Seifutinov and Holder really chasing hard. What a move here from Seifutinov. And Hancock alongside me, watching on as Woofenden isn't done yet.
No, not at all. I mean, Woofy, see, he had a great first ride there, and he's, you know, he looks to be pretty comfortable on the bike tonight. So whatever he's doing, it's working good. The bike seems to be all right, but maybe going to be a little bit tough. It's still a little bit too slick, but how about Freddie Lindgren on a change of equipment?
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him, from Freddie out in front, coming on hard. Seifutinov and Woofenden really tight going into the last lap. Lindgren, who's ridden really well, very tight between Woofenden and Lindgren into the last corner. The Swedish man going to pick up another, well, he's going to pick up his first win of the night.
Yeah, the crowd go wild here in Malilla. Freddie Lindgren superb, Ty Woofenden second, Emil Seifutinov third, and we just have to say a sincere thank you to Greg Hancock, who's done a great job with us here.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me up here, you guys.
Superb, and we wish you well, and we do hope to see you back on a bike soon, Greg. All the very best.
Likewise. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all you viewers out there, too, and hope to see you all soon.
Great stuff. Gentlemen, Greg Hancock, 4 times world champion. Fascinating listen along with Kelvin. Wonder how many laps Greg Hancock and Kelvin Tatum have done in their career between them.
I think he may have done 1 or 2 more than me, but no, brilliant to have Greg up here. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
So, great stuff. 8 races gone here at the G&B Arena, and Antonio Limbach leads the Grand Prix on 6 points. And once again, our thanks to Greg, and Kelvin and myself will continue the action very soon.
7 different race winners after 8 heats, but it's 2 out of 2 for home rider Antonio Limbach. We'll be back with more racing from Sweden in just a few moments. Welcome back. You're watching round 7 of the Speedway Grand Prix series on BT Sport. Alan Roster in the studio with me, and what a great start it's been for home rider Antonio Limbach, and something that we've not seen from him or enough of in this series.
No, he's looking very, very quick and obviously consistent. You know, 2 wins out of 2, you can't get any better than that, can you?
How much does the home support do for confidence, but also does it give you a boost, of course, that you're right in front of home fans?
In front of home fans, it sort of gets into your head and it makes you feel better that you've got the backing of the home crowd, even though you might ride for a different team there, but everybody gets behind the home riders, don't they?
We did a lot of talking, of course, at the top of the show about those who are leading the series. It's not been a great start for Jason Doyle, and it wasn't for Magic Janowski, but he made up for it in heat number 6.
Yeah, no, Magic, he made up for that one. Something obviously went wrong. But Nigel and Kelvin said in the commentary that they could smell something, and obviously it was the clutch. But in this one, he makes a perfect ride and went through the middle there. Peter Kilderman gave Jason quite a hard, you know, not dirty, but just enough there. Look, just
we can see him looking across there and lining up his move. Is that a move similar to what you were saying with Ty Woofenden?
Yeah, I think we noticed it as well with Pavlicki as well earlier on. It was the moves that if you don't make it, you make the massive cutback. And I think Pavlicki's the one that mastered it to the best, to his advantage in his last race that he won.
And getting the better of Doyle, crucially, if we're counting all the points.
Yeah, we're counting up all the points. So yes, they're all. You know, Jason needs to either change something or change bike or what, I don't know, but he needs to get back into it.
Ty Woofenden, another exciting race for him in his second outing in heat number 8. Very close to Freddie Lindgren's back wheel there. And
we all jumped here in the studio, didn't we? It was like, whoa, how did he miss him? He just missed it with like fraction. There was a fraction of a gap when it comes round there. But as you see here, we thought he was going to go round Freddie Lindgren here, and he seems to have got a lot of speed. But then whether he sort of lost it, you know, started to spin halfway through the race. But Emil was beavering around up the inside all the time and trying to push, and he couldn't quite get to the outside. But in the end, Ty got across him eventually and tied up the second place.
And again, we've spoken about equipment and engines. Freddie, another one, changing engines, isn't he?
Yeah, again, we spoke about this in the show. He's another one that looks like that's gone to Fleming Gravis, and he's off the GTR engine there.
And there's no suggestion that there's been any kind of fallout, but a lot of riders changing and just experimenting with different things, aren't they now?
There's, you know, what's good is 1 minute you've got the Aztec one in, you can have Ashley, you can have Peter Johns, you've got Flemming Graverson, you've got Jan Anderson. It's like a big merry-go-round, and you know, when people see one rider going good on it, they all go, it's all like a big change, like, you know. But Martin Vasulik's on Aztec, so you've got an array of engine tuners there. But as we said earlier, everybody's trying different ones this year, and the engine tuners seem to be throwing them out at the moment.
It seems to be a big thing, more so this year than any other year, that this has become a big talking point now.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think probably more than I've ever seen it. Normally, you get a few engine, they're not really keen if they've got a top rider, and then all of a sudden they do it for one of their competitors. They kind of like, I think the rider kind of gets a little bit upset. But now you're kind of seeing, well, the engine tuners just firing them out at the moment, which it's up to them, isn't it, I guess, you know, and probably why you're seeing so many changes on engine. But say the biggest thing there was obviously Freddie off the GTR. 5
points for him so far after his 2 races, change of engine. Says he's not done particularly well at this track this year. We saw how good a start he had to the series, suffered with a knee injury, but looks like he could be coming back in some good form now, riding well for Wolverhampton.
Yeah, no, he's you know, we all know what, you know, at the start of the year he had that win in Poland. He did really well there. So yeah, no, he's starting to hit some form, and you know, we always say Freddie, he's a little bit brutal sometimes. he'll cut your nose off when you go, if there's a gap there, he'll chop your nose off or go for a gap that's some people might think about, but Freddie will go for that gap.
Antonio Limbach, I mean, we mentioned it quite a few times, out again after the break, looking to make it 3 wins on the spin, up against Maciej Janowski.
Magic's off one as well, isn't he? So, you know, the inside gate, everybody seems to be favouring it at the moment.
Chris Holder, the 4th rider in this next race.
He's struggling, unfortunately.
He is. Hopefully we'll talk about him in a while. Let's get back to track.
Heat number 9, here we go then. Maciej Janowski going off the inside. He has a warning to his name to behave at the start. Chris Holder goes off gate 2 in blue, just 1 point to his name so far for Chris. Antonio Limbach, gate 3 in white. Maximum man, 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
And Linus Sundström going off the outside. He's ridden better than just 1 point. He's been quicker than that.
He has, but just hasn't quite been in the right place at the right time, and has found the Grand Prix. Well, there is no mercy shown out there, that's for sure. Janowski off the inside was superb last time, but the 4-man so far is Limbach. Limbach, the home favourite, who has found Grand Prix racing difficult so far this season, has started in fine style. Plenty of track prep's gone on. The track conditions, racing conditions have been very, very good, very favourable, and there's no doubt that the riders are really beginning to enjoy themselves.
Yep, heat number 9 is coming up then here. Peter Killerman watching on, the Dane who's in for Nicky Pedersen tonight. We send Nicky Pedersen our very, very good wishes, along with Greg.
Absolutely.
For his recovery.
Yeah, big decision for Nicky, not easy, because to damage your neck twice in 2 years, and then, you know, your spinal cord is, you know, you've got to consider your health. So I'm sure it's a lot of soul searching going on in the Pedersen camp.
Sure there is. Heat number 9 it is then here. Can Chris Holder reignite his hopes tonight? Just the 1 point off gate number 2 in blue. Here we go. Great start from Janowski. He's made a superb start there off the inside in red. Oh, Limbach almost loses it there. And now charging hard, Chris Holder taking up the challenge in the blue helmet colour. But the man in red, Maciej Janowski, really is getting some great starts here tonight. Oh. Second place is Chris Holder, really up his exhaust pipe. And Limbach comes through, and there's a race at the back and a race at the front, but Janowski just about holds on.
Holder looking a lot more competitive this time. Limbach really ruthless there, getting the better of his compatriot. Janowski out in front. Limbach is coming on strong here. Holder's going to have to ride hard, because Limbach, unbeaten coming into this heat, is really looking very, very useful in 3rd place. Out in front, Janowski beginning to settle down nicely, pulling away out in front into the last lap. Limbach coming up the inside of Chris Holder. Oh, tight there again.
It certainly was. And now he's coming back again. Antonio Limbach charging up the inside. Can Holder hold out? Janowski's going to win it. Limbach's come through for second. Chris Holder all beaten up there by Antonio Limbach.
Tough ride.
Was indeed. Very, very tough. And it's ruthless, isn't it? This is Grand Prix Speedway. That's what it's about. But Maciej Janowski, after that burnt-out clutch in his opening ride, has reignited his evening superbly with 2 wins on the trot and has put himself very much in with a shout of a semi-final spot tonight. Yeah. And also, he now leads the World Championship. Maciej Janowski is the World Championship leader. After this result, Janowski Limbach holder. Janowski is now on 81 points. 2 clear of Doyle and Dudek in the overall standings, and 6 points on the night for him.
Well, I seem to remember having an injury pre-season that really did make him sort of start on the back foot this year, but he has found his form. He is riding as well as ever, and for the first time he leads the championship this season. Super start from the inside. Bit of shenanigans going on there between Holder and Limbach. And Limbach rides a really stormer of a race here. This is a rider that is quite clearly fired up. He's unbeaten coming into this. He really does have a big go at Chris Holder here midway through the race. Janowski's comfortable out in front, but Limbach just would not be denied here. He kept coming harder and harder at Chris Holder and eventually forced the Australian out the way. And he comes through to secure the 2nd place. Super stuff from Limbach. He's on 8 points from 3 rides. He's looking good for the semi-finals already. And Janowski, 6 from 9, but when you consider he had mechanical issues, he's looking very strong this evening.
Yep, Janowski 81 with Doyle and Dudek 79 apiece in the World Championship standings. We're up to heat number 10 now. Jason Doyle has so far only got 1 point to his name, but don't rule him out. How many times have we seen him stage a late rally, Kel?
Absolutely. Prague epitomises that. Just got through on 8 points to the semi-finals. Never really looked like he was comfortable. Pulled off the win. So, yes, he knows how to dig deep.
Heat number 10. And it is Emil Seifutinov off the inside. Martin Smolinski goes off gate 2 in blue. Niels Christian Iversen is off gate 3 in white. Jason Doyle off the outside in yellow. Reminder, more Grand Prix Speedway 2 weeks tonight when we go to Gorzów. And it's the Edward Jansart Stadium, a magnificent track and a great stadium as well.
Well, you've just taken the words out of our mouth. You know, this is a superb track. Gorzów is another one. We've got some real treats coming up. There's no doubt about that with the championship. Emil Seifutinov riding well. Doyle, pressure on Doyle here. Has to show it once again. Still limping quite heavily, Nigel, with that right foot, though.
He is indeed. Heat number 10. Here we go. Starting marshal getting a little bit impatient here. Our referee is Artur Kashmiers from Poland.
Yeah.
Our jury president tonight, Tony Steele of Great Britain, the former Grand Prix referee. Here we go.
Oh, Iversen.
Yep, a bit of movement at the start. The referee's put the red lights on.
Yeah, he'll get a warning for that.
Yep. You could see it from here. We're not actually quite level with the start line, but we could see from here that there was a little bit of movement, a little nibble at the start there.
Yeah, he dropped the clutch early. Didn't touch the tapes, but there's no doubt he moved early. And Niels is feeling the pressure there because he's got gate number 3. He won't be that comfortable with that. And you'll see it quite clearly now on the start line. He will drop the clutch just a fraction of a second too early. Tight, could have got away with that. Actually watching it there again, but actually watching it head on, it looked like quite clearly that he'd made a bit of a run at it, but the referee puts the red lights on and he will be warned.
A little bit of British success to report tonight, and that is Robert Lambert of Kings Lynn has won the European Under-19 Championship in the Czech Republic. So many congratulations to Robert Lambert, who is the new European Under-19 champion. A bit of British success there.
Oh, that's smashing. Robert Lambert is a rider that has got lots and lots of talent, and that's a nice title for him to pick up while he's still a teenager. And I concur with you. That's congratulations to Robert and all his supporters. That's an outstanding achievement, and Robert's got a big future, there's no doubt about that. Part of the World Cup squad already, and I see him, he rides out here in Sweden as well. He's gaining valuable experience, and yeah, I'd like to think that he will be a Grand Prix rider of the future.
So, warning for Niels Christian Iversen, which was as we expected from the referee. As we build up to heat number 10, this is the halfway stage of the qualifying heats. 20 qualifying heats, and then 2 semi-finals and the final. So heat number 10 it is. Emil Seifutinov off the inside. Gate 2 is Martin Smolinski in blue. Gate 3 white is Niels Christian Iversen on that warning. And Jason Doyle going off the outside. A big race for Doyle. Looking to propel himself back into contention. Only 1 point from 2 rides so far.
Yeah, and Sayfutinov, as hard as he's been trying, he needs a win. He's on 3 points from his first 2 rides. He's got the inside gate, and that can be an advantage here. Riders just taking their time to settle down for second time. Plenty of gardening going on. When I talk about gardening, it's exactly what we're watching Doyle there, stamping down on the dirt, trying to create a place to start from that's going to give you a real good push away from the start when you drop the clutch. And certainly from the outside, it's a long way from there. Will we see the plan B move that Greg was talking about earlier on? And that means that from the outside, you switch to the inside in the first corner. Another big racing prospect.
Yep, heat number 10. Here we go. Second time of asking. Take tries. Everson's made a decent one, but it's all very tight in that first turn. Will Doyle stay on the bike as Smolinski charges through, but Sayfutinov has that lead, and Doyle paid the price for going wide to the fence. He was taken out so wide. The lead is with Sayfutinov. Everson is second, and Doyle's come through now. Jason Doyle has come through into third place, but Smolinski is coming back for more, and now Doyle is taking up the charge to try and hunt down Everson in second spot.
Yeah, tough first corner there for Jason Doyle, because Everson was forced wide and Doyle was on the outside. Little racing room there. Sayfutinov took advantage. He made a good start from the inside. Everson looking okay in second place, but when you've got Jason Doyle behind you, I can assure you, people, you can never relax. We're into the last lap. Sayfutinov beginning to pull away. Will this be his first win on the night? Looking very likely. Doyle working overtime in third.
Yeah, Doyle's probably going to pay the price for being taken out wide early on. It's Sayfutinov who's going to get the victory. The Russian rocket does it in heat number 10. Second place there went to Niels Christian Everson, and Jason Doyle in third place there. So only 2 points so far for Doyle. Needs 2 race wins to have any chance whatsoever of making the semi-finals. So he's up against it. It's Jason Doyle, but that was a fine win for Emil Sayfutinov. Puts him on to 6 points. Big ride indeed by Sayfutinov. From Everson in second place and Jason Doyle in third, and Everson's 2 points there put him on to 6 now. So it's one of Everson's better performances tonight, one of his better scores.
Yeah. 6
points from 3 rides, and in with a great shout as well. But Emil Sayfutinov looking superb.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had the inside gate. He had three points coming into this, and he's doubled his score. He moves on to 6. Tough first corner there with the riders coming across. Sayfutinov shuffling the pack there, and Doyle got caught on the outside, didn't do the plan B, committed to the run to the corner, but just got shoved very wide. He's out of picture there. We see him just momentarily, but a very difficult first corner. Sayfutinov looking really superb out in front. Doyle charging hard in third, but Everson, as you rightly say, Nigel, Everson is enjoying a better Grand Prix. He's fighting hard, and with 6 points to his name, a couple more, and he might well make the semi-finals, and he'll be pleased with that. But Sayfutinov, after a couple of steady rides, hits the front and moves nicely onto 6 with 2 gate 2s to come. He'll be looking, well, he'll be feeling that he's got every chance to make the semi-finals.
Well, heat number 11 is coming up. This man in red is Ty Woofenden, 27 years of age last Thursday, born in Scunthorpe in the UK. Rode for his hometown club, the Scunthorpe Scorpions, and started in their third division team, their development team, when he first came over from Australia after his mum and dad had emigrated there when he was but a tot, and came back over and rode for Scunthorpe, as did his late dad Rob. Ty off the inside in red. Bartosz Marszlik, gate 2 blue. Piotr Pawlicki, gate 3 white. And Peter Killerman going off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour.
I'm going to say it. Smashing line-up this, Nige. And Ty Woofenden on the inside.
We said we were going to stop saying that.
Well, can't resist. And Woofenden's riding well. He's got 5 points. He's looking strong. Schmauslik again. He's certainly battling very well. And Pawlicki last time, Nigel, much more like his old self.
Yeah, heat number 11 it is then. Here we go. Good start from Woofenden off the inside gate as Smarslik goes wide, but Woofenden holding the inside run. Now the man in blue, Bartosz Smarslik, is going to take up the running. He's wheel to wheel with Piotr Pawlicki, his fellow countryman here. But Woofenden, has to be said, Kelvin, is looking particularly sharp tonight, and he's almost back to his best, arguably.
Very nice first turn there from Ty Woofenden, a clever one. He went right round the inside. Smarslik is giving chase, and there's no doubt that Smarslik has got pace. Pawlicki is fading because Kilderman is coming on strong in fourth, but out in front, Woofenden, it looked like he was fairly comfortable, but Smarslik is fast. This race has got some legs in this night. Smarslik working overtime in second place, riding out of his skin. Woofenden, I don't think is completely comfortable, but that's a smart move from him.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden in the red helmet colour has gone on the inside, invited the opportunity for Smarslik to go wide into the dirt, but I think Woofenden has maybe just about done enough here. Down to the line they go. Smarslik!
Oh! Whoa, that got close on the run to the line. Woofenden wasn't sure going into the last corner for the last time. He elected to go wide. That allowed Smarslik back to the inside, and it got awfully close on the run to the line. Woofenden, though, enjoying a smashing Grand Prix. Only been beaten once so far, but Smarslik, what a class ride that was.
Yeah, it looks like Woofenden may just nick it here, Kel.
Yeah, Woofenden hangs on, Nigel, but it's a great effort from Smarslik to come at him hard coming off the last corner. And again, two world-class riders performing brilliantly out in front.
Yeah, and the old clueless commentator comes into effect again there, saying Woofenden's done enough. And then bang, right to the line. Smarslik almost pips him.
Well, steals it off of him. Yeah, it looked like it may have happened, but certainly Woofenden will be relieved.
Yes.
That he was able to hang on, because he rode very clever, and then he had a decision to make on the last lap. Possibly took the wrong one, but it didn't cost him.
Great speedway again. Heat number 11 on the super smooth track here in Malilla. Woofenden on 8 points, level with Limbach now, and Smarslik moves on to 6. And Woofenden now has moved into 4th place in the World Championship, would you believe?
Very
on
quietly.
65 points,
Very quietly making his way up the table, isn't he? He hasn't been hitting the headlines this season so far, but certainly this evening he's looking very competitive. He said pre-Grand Prix he's really enjoying riding in Sweden. He has a new club, Masana from Avesta, the most northern club in Sweden. And he's enjoying riding there, and quite clearly he's enjoying this Swedish Grand Prix. Tight as they come to the line, Nigel. Super speedway out in front. But Ty Woofenden, the former two-time world champion, riding like a champion this evening.
When you say Avesta, is that as in combined Avesta?
Not quite.
Oh.
It's close, but
Okay.
not quite the cigar.
Cheers, thanks.
Okay, mate, no problem.
Right. Heat number 12, I need a geography lesson, clearly.
Good try.
Yeah. So heat number 12 coming up. And this will be the 3rd round of races completed. Every rider will have had 3 outings here. Ty Woofenden and Antonio Limbach at the top of the leaderboard, with Janowski, Seifutinov, Smarslik and Iversen all on 6 apiece. And Woofenden, by the way, has only got double figures twice in the opening 6 rounds of the series.
Yeah.
And that tells its own story. And looking for a 3rd double figure haul tonight. Right, heat number 12, riders at tapes, here we go. With Vasilik, Lindgren, Zagar, Dudek going off the outside gate here. This then is heat number 12 of the Tengtools Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Green lights on, and but away first time here. Vasilik's made a good start off the inside, and now Dudek is going to try the cut up the inside, because Lindgren holds 2nd right now. But Dudek, has he got some speed? And now Lindgren charging through! What a move from the Dakar man on his home track here. Lindgren with a very smart move indeed. Vasilik holds 2nd, Dudek is 3rd, but that allows the opportunity for Zagar to come around the outside, and Dudek is caught up in all sorts of traffic. Zagar going wide, Lindgren holding a very clever line up front here.
Now Dudek now up into 3rd place because Zagar went very wide. Can he replay the compliment? Yes, he does. Brilliant move early on from Freddie Lindgren. Really forced his way up the inside of Vasilik going into turn 3. God, the Dakar rider is riding out of his skin tonight. He is flying out in front. Martin Vasilik working hard for 2nd place, and Zagar every bit as hard for 3rd. But Freddie Lindgren, he is riding supremely well this evening. Brilliant ride from him.
And the Dakar fans absolutely jubilant. The Swedish fans in general delighted with fast Freddie Lindgren in heat number 12. That was a fine ride. One of the busiest riders in World Speedway. Rides in the Polish League on Sundays. He'll be back at Wolverhampton on Monday as well for their Premiership match with Kings Lynn at Montmargreen. So a lot of travelling involved. He'll be back out here in Sweden on Tuesday. So a lot of travelling involved for Freddie Lindgren. And he's riding nicely. Good ride from Lindgren. So it's
Very
Lindgren,
nicely.
Vacilik, Zagar was third, and Dudek at the back. We haven't said that often this season. And after 12 heats then, let's take a look at the standings. Lindgren, Lindback, Woffington, all on 8 points apiece.
Plenty more racing to come then from Malilla and round 7, but it's so far so good for 2 of our Swedish riders. We're back after this break. Welcome back. It's all about the Grand Prix in Malilla in Sweden tonight, but we don't just have the Grand Prix to contend with, we have domestic matters to contend with as well. On Monday evening, our attention turns to the Premiership, and our BT Sport cameras are at Somerset's Oak Tree Arena as the Rebels host the Leicester Lions. Coverage gets underway at 7:30 on BT Sport 1. Back with Alan Rossiter in the studio, and as mentioned just before the break, 2 of the Swedish riders going very well. Started off very well for Antonio Lindback, but Freddie Lindgren now with 2 wins out of 3, going well for him.
Yeah, certainly. I think the change of engine certainly given him that spurge on there. But yeah, no, going very good, and Lindback's still in there. He's only dropped a point now. He's come back strong at the end of the race. So, yeah, the home riders are doing really well at the moment.
Yeah, especially with Freddie saying he'd not really done too much at this particular track. Well, let's hear from him now. He's with Kiri.
Freddie, riding out of your skin tonight. That was an amazing heat.
No, it's really good. I've started off very well, nearly perfect. And these last 2 heat wins feels so really good for the confidence. And hopefully, I can keep it up for the whole night.
I know you know this track, but it's just showing how tough this championship is. Everybody is battling so hard.
Yeah, I mean, this track is very open and wide, and it's a few different racing lines. And I think, if you have a fast motor, you can make something happen.
Are you enjoying the fans tonight?
Yeah, I do. It's good to get him a couple of heat wins to get him something to cheer for, and hopefully we can make it to the semis and later on to the final.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Freddie.
Thank you.
Winner of round 2, of course, in Warsaw, but how much would it mean to somebody like Freddie to win at a home track?
Well, obviously, everybody wants to win on their home territory, and obviously with the home fans there, and obviously the local media or the national media, if they pick up on it, it's no different to when Chris Harris won at Cardiff. It was picked up by all the media people. But yeah, it'd be no different to him winning it in Sweden. That.
Martin Vacilik putting him under pressure to start with in heat number 12, but...
I thought Martin looks very fast tonight, but I just think he's right. He seems to be racing in the wrong places, in my opinion. He seems to be going wide when he should have, left a massive gap there for Freddie. He seems to have got enough speed, but I just think, I don't know whether Steady would be having a word with him, but, looking at there, he seems to be going all in the wrong places, where maybe he could be coming down tight at some places and moving up, in different places. But just watching it, he's been in good positions, and he's thrown it away a little bit.
Could that be to do with his hand injury, of course? I mean, if anybody saw the pictures on social media this week,
horrible, wasn't it?
Badly injured hand, didn't he, with a crash with Max Frick, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah, in Vetlanda in Sweden. So, yeah, and I don't think it is that. But I'd just say, when he went down the bottom corner there, when Freddie came under him, he was quite a bit in front of him, but he just went too wide. And as he went too wide, Freddie said, "Thank you very much," and stuck it around the curb. A bit like Ty's race in the race before. When Ty stuck it round the curb, he pulled away from Smarslick. But then on the last lap, Ty went out really wide and only just got to the line to win it. So, I don't know why some of them do that. You see these riders, they make the mistakes, and you think, well, they've got the people with them in the pitch. You'd thought they'd be, telling them where to ride, saying, well, I think you made a mistake. You look quicker by going on the inside, or you look better going around the outside. And I think that's the whole reason of having these guys in the pits, to help him in that position.
Jason Doyle went into this as the series leader by 3 points. He's up against it tonight. 2 points so far. It's his worst start to a Grand Prix since Warsaw 2016.
Yeah, I think, in fairness, you know, it was always going to, you know, maybe, you know, it was always going to happen one day. He's made a lot of finals, just snuck in a few times, but he's certainly up against it, but you certainly wouldn't write him off. But it depends on, you know, with riders taking points for everybody. Like, we always used to say 8 points enough. But will 8 be enough tonight?
Well, an illustration of that is that we've seen him turn it around before. He had 3 points after his first 3 rides in Cardiff, and in Prague he had 3 points as well, and he still made the final.
But he's on 2 points tonight, Natalie.
He is on 2 points.
And even if he gets 2 wins in his next 2, that's 8, and then it depends if there's somebody on 8 points on the count back, whether he's beaten them then. So he's certainly up against it, but he needs to win both of them, or he needs to get some more points to keep his title, keep him at the top of the title.
I'm glad you can do quick maths. He's also off the inside gates there as well, so 2 heat wins. Well, he
could well be in a good position here, you know, especially off the red on the inside. He can dictate, but he's got to watch, you know, because I watched them all when they first grade the track. You got to be very careful that when they grade it, first of all, the dirt's not out wide until it gets pushed out after a couple of races. So I think you need to go in and stick it around the curb for the first one. But I think as the races go down through the heats, then I think you've got to move out wider then, like as we saw Emil give them all a good shove in the first corner.
Well, let's get back to Sweden then. We are ready for heat number 13. Your commentators are Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
So here's your lineup for Heat 13. Patrick Dudek going off the inside in red. Emil Seifutenhoff goes off gate number 2 in blue. Peter Killerman goes off gate 3 in white on that warning. And Antonio Limbach, who's only dropped 1 point so far, he goes off the outside in yellow. Can Dudek make it count off the inside gate, Kelvin?
He needs to, and he's more than capable of it. His performances in the championship suggest that. He does it time and time again. Seifutenhoff raised his game last time with a really nice win. So, you know, it's going to be tough to do so. And, of course, the real danger man here for Dudek is Antonio Limbach, who rode so strongly and is having a great evening and is almost guaranteed a semi-final spot. So, yeah, another great lineup. But Dudek in third place in the championship coming into this heat on 79 World Championship points. I think just the 4 points, hasn't won a race. I think he'll be really looking for one right here now.
Yeah, crucial time of the meeting. Heat number 13 it is. Limbach is the last to settle on the outside gate. We're ready for action. Here we go. Away first time. Dudek's made a beauty off the inside gate. Very smart start from Patrick Dudek. Limbach is all over him up the inside. Watch out for Seifutenhoff now. Going deep and hard into the dirt. Emil Seifutenhoff around the outside. Has got lots of speed here.
Oh! Limbach up the inside. Dudek had to come off the throttle. That allows Seifutenhoff back in the race. All looked quite straightforward then, and suddenly Limbach pounced. Seifutenhoff working hard in second place. Yes, he is. He gets the better of Dudek. Dudek having a hard time here, certainly coming out of the inside gate. But look at Limbach go, Nigel. He really is enjoying a great night of Speedway.
Remarkable performance from Antonio Limbach, as we said at the start of the night. Will he show his World Cup form where he was majestic? Not too far away from here at Vastavik in the World Cup. He was magnificent, superb later on in the tournament as well, and he's found his true form. What a ride from Antonio Limbach. He's in the semi-finals. He's on 11 points. Emil Seifutenhoff was able to cash in there as well.
Yeah.
Moving on to 9 points, Emil. And Patrick Dudek now is really under pressure with only 5 points from 4 rides. So there's pressure on Dudek after a third place. He's gone from first to third.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done that earlier in the season, I would suggest. But then again, Limbach wouldn't have done that earlier in the series.
Absolutely.
What a performance from Antonio Limbach. Emil Seifutenhoff was second, Patrick Dudek third, and Peter Killerman trailing at the back. It's 3 wins out of 4 for Antonio Limbach, who goes to the top of the leaderboard now on 11 points from 4 rides.
Well, Limbach is back. and in some style, and 11 out of 12 is a great effort so far. And that World Cup final form where he got 20 out of 21 points, we are witnessing here this evening. Gate 4, not easy, and he comes charging away initially. Dudek, great start from the inside, super switch up the inside from Antonio Limbach. And the rider is such a talent. He is a huge talent, Antonio Limbach. We don't always see it, and he can be inconsistent, but look at that. He comes charging up the inside of Patrick Dudek. I sense that Patrick Dudek was just expecting it, in truth. He gave him racing room, and Antonio Limbach clearly delighting himself. He is pumped up tonight, and the home crowd are certainly enjoying it as well. The Swedes really are going. Morgan Andersson there, the team manager for Sweden on the right, and he has had a large part to play in recent times with Antonio Limbach. He has well-documented problems away from the track at times, but there's no doubt that Andersson has played his role. But what a night so far for Limbach. Could he win here this evening? Certainly looks like a winner.
Certainly a thriller at Malilla for Limbach.
Yes.
It's taken 13 heats to make that, to use that phrase, but
okay,
we've got there.
Well done.
Heat 14. Now, Jason Doyle under huge pressure. The Australian star here, right to the Swindon Robins in the UK, who are on, what is it, 11 straight wins, Swindon, in the Premiership in the UK.
Yeah,
who would have thought
run.
that at the start of the season? Extraordinary. Jason Doyle goes off the inside in red. Martin Vasilik, gate 2 in blue. Ty Woffenden, 8 points so far. He's off gate 3 in white. And Linus Sundström, who's worked hard, is the wild card. He just hasn't been able to land a blow, really. He's off the outside gate. A lot of pressure on this man, as Woffenden off gate 3 looks to add to his 8 points. Only 2 double-figure scores. Needs to make it 3 here this evening. Start Marshall very impatient with the riders tonight.
Yeah, he's being quite tough with them, isn't he? Settling down. Woofenden out of gate 3, enjoying a super night.
Here we go, heat number 14. And what a start that was from Vasilik. He's got the drop on Doyle as Woofenden goes up the inside magnificently. That was a super move from Ty Woofenden. Spotted the moment, made his mind up very, very quickly, and has paid dividends with Vasilik second, Doyle third. Sundström now at the back in yellow, putting pressure on Jason Doyle. Doyle now is going wide, trying to get around the outside of Martin Vasilik, but it's a tough night, and maybe it's just not to be for Jason Doyle tonight.
Well, Woofenden was majestic in the first corner. That plan B move absolutely perfectly timed, and he is flying out in front. Doyle's having a hard night. He's having a hard time hanging on the third place. Martin Vasilik in second place. He made a great start into the last lap. Woofenden absolutely sensational. Linus Sundström coming on hard, pushing Doyle really hard. Oh, that's tight down the back straight. Woofenden has cleared off. He is in a class of his own here.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden of Great Britain takes the checkered flag. 11 points for the double world champion, Ty Woofenden. That is a terrific performance from him. And Jason Doyle in third with Vasilik second. And Doyle will not make the semi-finals tonight. The best he can get is 6 points. And he will not make the semi-finals this evening. And for Ty Woofenden, he gets only his third double-figure score in 7 Grand Prix appearances this year. Woofenden the winner, Vasilik was second, Doyle was third, Sundström at the back. Woofenden, who said in the week in his media interviews that he has been trying 1 or 2 different engines of late, saying that he's loving riding in Sweden and that he wanted his Swedish love affair to continue, and it certainly has done tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. He's has been quite outspoken about how much he's been enjoying Swedish League, and he's brought that form here this evening. Fabulous first turn. We see Woofenden do that quite often, but his timing there was absolutely perfect. Split-second decision to swap to the inside as he gets to the first corner. Doyle can't resist the move. Sits on the back tyre, the bike drives off the corner. Such a fabulous feeling. Woofenden quite clearly very comfortable on the bike. He's enjoying the racing very much. Doyle working overtime back in third place, but things aren't quite going the way of the Australians tonight. But he'll come back, you know he will. He'll show great character. He'll keep battling right to the bitter end. But for Woofenden, best Grand Prix comfortably of the season so far. Well, smile on his face, that's good to see. Just dropped the 1 point, as has Antonio Limbach. And for the 2-time former world champion, he also is looking like a winner.
Yes, indeed. Woofenden nice and fresh going into this meeting. If anything, I was wondering whether he'd done enough on the bike, because he had a week off from the Swedish League on Tuesday. So has been at home in the UK all week long. But we know, of course, that he's turning his hand to DIY and helping renovate his own house in the UK.
Maybe that will be the best way to prepare for Grand Prix in the future if he wins this evening.
By knocking a wall through?
Exactly, yeah, and fitting a shower and whatever else. I know he's been very busy with it.
Yep. Chris Holder off the inside in red, Piotr Pawlicki gate 2 in blue, Matti Zegar gate 3 white, and Martin Smolinski off the outside in yellow. So here we go. Heat number 15, Piotr Pawlicki off gate number 2 here. On the edge of the top 8, needs a big ride.
He does, so does Zegar.
Yes.
And Holder's having a tough night as well. He's on the inside, but look more competitive last time, but Pawlicki's up and down.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. That's a better start from Piotr Pawlicki. What can Holder do now? Charging through. Watch out for Zegar here in wide. What a move from Matti Zegar. That was magnificent. Martin Smolinski is second. Down goes the man in blue.
Down.
Piotr Pawlicki has gone down.
Ruthless move there from Martin Smolinski going into turn 3. Comes charging up the inside. Referee's got a big decision to make here. I'm sure he'll want to see a replay there, but Smolinski seemed to come... Well, he did. He comes charging up the inside, and there must have been some contact. First corner. Zegar, what a move that is from Zegar. Smolinski up the inside there, keeps coming here. Yeah, takes him straight off.
Well, that is...
Smolinski's got to go.
Yep, watching the replay there, pretty convincing, isn't it? Our referee will watch this. And...
Well, he comes in quite narrow, carrying a lot of speed. Inevitably, you're going to drift across the corner. Really tight as they come in here. And Smolinski coming up the inside there. He can't scrub the speed off enough, and as a consequence, he drifts straight into the side.
Well, there is a yellow light on, so that is the exclusion for Martin Smolinski in the yellow helmet colour.
Really, in truth, the only decision to be made. And hard on the German, but unfortunately, he found himself carrying so much speed up the inside there. With Pawlicki coming from the outside. No, contact, down he went.
Well, let's hope that Piotr Pawlicki will be up and about very shortly. He's sat up, as you can see, by the airbag there.
He's finding it tough this year, Pawlicki, isn't he? You know, he's such a talent. You know, when they rode for the World Cup, I mean, they were just outstanding. There it's confirmed, Smolinski excluded. It's the top of the screen, but Pawlicki will be in the rerun. He's got 4 points, so 2 rides to go, so good to see him up and about. That's pleasing. It's fast down that back straight, I can assure you. I rode here plenty of times. This is you carry a lot of speed here. Not the biggest track on the calendar, but it's very quick. And crashing at the end of that back straight is not that pleasant.
Did you enjoy riding this track, Kelv?
I really enjoyed coming here. It suited my style, there's no doubt about that, carrying speed. But I loved the fact that there was opportunities to overtake here. You could work it out and really work the bike. We see it again, 3 of abreast coming down the straight with Holder, the meat in the sandwich. Smolinski just carrying that added speed as he comes into the corner, but he can't scrub the speed off there. And there's no way. Unfortunately, the contact happens and it's a fairly straightforward decision.
Well, we see it again from a different angle here. Do you know what? I'm not quite sure there was contact there, Kelv.
There is.
Is there?
There is, there, now. There,
yeah,
clearly.
There is there, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
We saw that straight on, Nige.
I just try and see from both sides, but you're quite right, you're quite right. I'll bow to your better judgment and eyesight.
I'm not so sure about the eyesight, but the goggles hanging off the end of my nose now, but
yeah.
No, tough for Smolinski, because I know he was really excited about riding here. Called up later in the week, of course, with the withdrawal of Greg Hancock, the world champion.
It just makes me wonder, you know, with Greg, he's admitted himself that he needs surgery on that shoulder quite urgently. So it remains to be seen whether he will come back. That's point number 1. And if he has the operation sharpish, how long will the recovery period be?
Well, it won't be a 5-minute job, that's for sure. And he's caught, I think, between he needs surgery, he knows that. The longer he waits, will it then make the recovery period, because of the fact that he has waited for the operation, will it be then extended? Quite possibly, quite possibly. So not an easy decision, but quite clearly wants to try and get some strength in the shoulder to a point where he can race.
Well, of course, in September we go to Teterow in Germany, a track that you know very well indeed, Kelv. Kai Hülkenberg is the wild card, but there is a very realistic prospect of Martin Smolinski being there as well. So 2 German riders in the German Grand Prix in Teterow in September is a realistic prospect.
Yes, and Kai Hülkenberg, who's making big steps in Speedway now. He rides for the King's Lynn Stars in the UK, rode for Germany in the World Games recently in Wrocław in Poland, and rode really well. And I'm sure he's really excited to be riding in Teterow in a few weeks' time. Frantic work going on there with Pawlicki's bike. New tyre fitted, and some new goggles as well will be fitted to the rider, and Pawlicki needs a big ride. He's had to come up with a really strong ride now.
Very much so. Been a tough night for Chris Holder here in Sweden this evening. Pawlicki now looking for a good ride here in heat number 15. Chris Holder, Piotr Pawlicki and Matti Zegar. Ty Woffenden just walking at the back of your screen there into the pits area, looking nice and relaxed.
Yes.
Lovely little training track. There's 2 training tracks here actually, Kelv, isn't there?
Fantastic facility.
The track that you see in the background there is a small training track behind the main stand here at Decana, Malilla. And also over the back of the back straight, there's another training track as well. So there's 3 speedway tracks here at this venue.
Yeah, it's a big site. We're in the middle of a wood, in truth, with plenty of room around us. But yes, it's a superb facility for not only for adults to ride, but for children as well. So yeah, fantastic.
A lot of people camping here this weekend. Fancy camping here next year, Kelv?
No.
Okay.
I quite like my hotel room, thank you.
Yeah, you're too posh.
Thank you. I think you enjoy it as well, mind.
Yes. Only 5-star for you, Tatum. Right, heat 15 it is.
Don't know why I'm in Holsred then.
Lovely part of the world. Heat 15.
Yeah, terrific countryside, lovely.
Yeah. Chris Holder off the inside in red. Piotr Pawlicki goes off gate 2 in blue. Matti Zegar gate 3. Way that made us so welcome here.
Yes.
Yeah, the Grand Prix once
Superb.
again. They really do treat us very well indeed, and they do make a huge weekend of it, which is great to see.
There's league racing as well tomorrow at Västervik. We went up there for lunch, didn't we, earlier today, and there's another league match there, which is just about 45 minutes away. So
Stena Arena.
The Stena Arena, exactly. We were there for event 2 in this year's World Cup, smashing meeting as well. Right, 3 only here. Zegaard made a really good move, so he'll be hoping to repeat that. Pawlicki will be hoping that he doesn't repeat the fact that he was on his backside in turns 3 and 4. So he needs a big ride, and Chris Holder is having a difficult time. He's out of work in the UK at the moment, and he needs to produce a really big performance now. He's outside the top 8, really needs to get back to winning ways, Chris.
Yep, here we go, heat number 15. 8 tries, and it's a good start from Holder that time off the inside gate. Now, can he do enough here? Because Zegar's going to come through in white. Oh! Pawlicki's down again. Oh! Well, he's accusing Zegar of taking him out. Will he get the bike up? The red lights are on anyway.
This is not an easy call. Pawlicki was trying to move back to the inside, and you could read it that he almost ran into the back of Zegar. See it again, it's not a...
I've just got a horrible feeling he may have turned left on Zegar.
Yeah, exactly that. He's trying to turn to the inside there.
Right.
And the fact is that Zegar then moves across and clips him. And this is why it's not an easy call.
I wouldn't know what to do as a referee here.
Zegar does straighten up there, though.
Zegar for me.
Yeah, Zegar does clip him, but it will be hard on either of them, in truth. It's not a clear-cut call, because Pawlicki certainly wants to cut to the inside, and as he does that, Zegar is right there, so it's hard on Zegar as well. It'll be very interesting to see which way the referee reads it.
Well, somebody will have to go.
I wouldn't want to be the referee.
No, neither would I.
No.
And he's gone for Zegar. Zegar is the man who's excluded. He can't look at him. He is furious, Matti Zagar. Absolutely furious.
Well, I feel for him because, yes, it is Zagar that makes contact with Pawlicki, and as a consequence of that, Pawlicki goes down. But just prior to that, Pawlicki is looking hard to the left and is turning to the inside, so effectively turned into Zagar at that moment. But the referee's gone with the safe option. He's seen that Zagar has hit Pawlicki, but this is not an easy call.
See it again here.
Now, Zagar lifts there momentarily, but just as the moment when Pawlicki is looking to turn to the inside. Either way, nobody was going to be happy. Either of those two riders, whichever one it was that was going to get excluded, both of them would be unhappy. And Zagar, unfortunately for him, it's he who misses out. And it's hard on Zagar because the original staging of this race, he was away. And it's hard enough to get Grand Prix points anyway. But when decisions like that happen, it does feel like the world's against you.
Well, a bad night for Matti Zagar here in Malilla tonight. And he is just outside the top 8 as well.
Could have done without that.
7 points behind Vasilik.
But he's only got 2 tonight, so
yeah,
we're only going to see him once more. He needs to make the most of it.
Tough
he needs
call.
to try. It is a tough call, and it was just one of those situations. Now we've got a match race. We had this earlier this year, in truth, between Freddie Lindgren and Janowski, and it was
best race of the season.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So, heat number 15 it is. Tough call by the referee.
Yeah,
very, very awkward decision to have to make. And here we see the lineup. Inside Chris Holder, Piotr Pawlicki off 2, no rider off 3, no rider off 4, 2 exclusions, Zagar and Smolinski disqualified by the referee. So we have a good old-fashioned match race here in heat number 15.
Yeah. Holder had made a good start initially, didn't he? Or the second time, excuse me, this is the third time we're racing this race, starting this race, and Holder had really got away nicely. Pawlicki, well, he's guaranteed 2 points. Will that be enough for him? Well, no, he'll want to win, really.
Yep, heat number 15 it is. Here we go. Holder's made a decent start there. Has got the trap on Pawlicki. Now Pawlicki's gone out to Holder's made a decent start there. Has got the trap on Pawlicki. Now Pawlicki's gone.
He's giving himself a half a chance. He's got a tough last ride. Comes out in heat 18 off gate 4, and he's got Smolinski, Smarslik, Doyle and Dudek to beat. But on the evidence of that race, we'll have a quick look at it here. He's on the inside. He makes a great start. And he roars into the first corner, moves across, makes it hard for Pawlicki. Pawlicki actually pushes hard down the back straight on the opening lap. But all credit to Chris. Wasn't quite sure where the best place was to ride, but he elects to go to the outside, pulls away comfortably and had plenty of speed. So all credit to the Australian. Heat 18, he's got gate 4. And he needs to win that one as well.
Win or bust for Holder.
Yes.
In that one, heat 18.
Yes.
He's up against Smarslik, Doyle and Dudek.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
No, never easy. But as I said before, it is half a chance. Joe Parsons from Monster Energy in there alongside him, clearly motivating his man as much as possible. And Holder is digging deep there, and that's encouraging.
Yep, heat number 16, Greg Hancock having a chat with Chris as well. And,
difficult time for Greg
ride.
this, you know, because he's only ever been a racer. It's not easy being an ex-rider in the pits, I can assure you, just hanging around, but certainly a bit of advice coming on there from the world champion.
Yeah, it's tough when you've been through such a hard time as well. And Bartosz Smarslik goes off the inside in red, Mats Janowski gate 2 in blue, Freddie Lindgren gate 3 white.
Oh.
Niels Christian Ederson off the outside. This is heat 16. Every rider will have had 4 outings after this race.
Yeah, wow, these riders are enjoying a good night as well. And Janowski 2 wins to his name. Smarslik battling for his life, certainly on the inside. And Freddie Lindgren, well, what a night he's enjoying. Really is going great guns this evening.
Can Janowski continue his fantastic starting here? He's made a good one off too, but so has Smarslik off the inside. Lindgren chops up the inside. What a move from fast Freddie Lindgren. And coming through into second place is Niels Christian Iversen. The battle is on and Smarslik comes through.
Wow.
Janowski's at the back. Who would have thought that? But will he be at the back for long? Because the lead is with Freddie Lindgren. Iversen is second, and here comes Janowski.
Oh, fabulous speedway. Smarslik now up the inside of Iversen. He's through into third place. Freddie Lindgren, what a wonderful move in the first corner, and he's fast in front. Janowski now battling hard with his compatriot Smarslik. Oh, that's tight. 3 abreast down the back straight. Fabulous racing here in Malilla tonight. But Freddie Lindgren, he's in a class of his own.
One more lap to go, and Smarslik and Janowski having a real old battle for second and third, and here comes Smarslik again down the back straight. Oh, Janowski closes the door. But what about Freddie Lindgren? Absolutely magnificent from the home hero. Janowski in second, Smarslik in third. This really is now a thriller at Malilla.
Whoa.
Sorry about that. Heat 16, fantastic.
That's twice. Yeah, you're getting them in the bank. Certainly Freddie Lindgren, well, he was thrilling the home crowd there, wasn't he? They were on their feet down the back straight. And Freddie is moving sweetly on, comfortably through to the semi-finals. 4 rides, 11 points, and that was a fabulous ride. Brilliant move in the first corner to get the better of the opposition. And Janowski coming through in second place.
Lindgren, Janowski, Smarslik, and a bad result for Niels Christian Iversen, who's got it all to do now. 3 riders on 11 points. Freddie Lindgren, Antonio Lindback, and Ty Woofenden.
Ties off the blues.
One more race to go then for our 16 riders before the semi-finals. Join us for Heat 17, live from Sweden in just a few moments. Welcome back. So Freddie Lindgren, Antonio Lindback, the 2 Swedes on 11 points, but Great Britain's Ty Woofenden also on 11 points after 3 wins tonight. He's speaking to Kiri.
I don't want to jinx it, but it is a fantastic night.
Yeah, so far so good. Gate 2 in my next one, and then on to the semis.
Well, I know you've been enjoying your time in Sweden previous to this. It's certainly proving favourable tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Sweden's different. It's like runners' clubs, and you kind of come here and it's a real laid-back attitude and never any stress. So you just come out here and it goes back to like the olden days where you come in to have fun and race your bike and not worry about anything. But when you're in the Grand Prix, there's a bit more pressure, and same in Poland as well. So it's nice to ride here.
Okay, well, you've had a week off, so it obviously proves well to have a week off before a GP.
I wouldn't say a week off. Been grafting at the house all week.
All right, thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
He certainly is keeping busy. 3 weeks since the last Grand Prix, 3 weeks since the last disappointment of not even making the semi-finals at Cardiff as well. Would that, I'm sure that would, the disappointment of that would give him a little bit of a boost going into the second half of the season, wouldn't it?
Yeah, certainly. And there was us saying that we didn't think he was riding enough, and he's gone out and proved us wrong tonight. Maybe it's a change of engine. We don't know, do we? It's good, but obviously he is on a different engine tonight.
Could be a coincidence, of course. What a great move he made.
And again, I thought everybody had worked him out, and obviously they still haven't. They're still letting him do it. If he doesn't make the start, the Ty Woofenden cut back every time up the corner there. And to be fair, he sailed off into the wind. He looked very quick.
Could be his first final as well for this series for him.
That's right. It's amazing to say, and I think he's made up 8 points on Jason Doyle now at the moment. And you think Jason's made every final, yet he's still not sailing off in the wind. Yeah,
and potentially with still 3 races to go, potentially. In terms of incidents in that last block of racing, well, let's have a look at Heat 15. And Smolinski was the first offender. What did you make of it?
It's all very difficult, and he's sliding across. He's not looking for where Pavlicki is, in fairness. I think Pavlicki is a little bit lucky there. I mean, yes, he has him off, but Martin's not actually looked for him. When he's gone under him, they've touched.
There is contact.
There is contact, but Pavlicki's not actually made the effort to get out of the way of him. He's just sat there. And again, I think a little bit of gamesmanship's coming in. And certainly, the second one. I think this one, if you look at it, the fact that Matti lifted, I think that's the only unfortunate thing. Otherwise, again, Pavlicki, he's very clever.
He does look a little bit. Do you think that was a little bit harsh on Zagar then? Or do you think that was right?
I think it's a tough one. It's a racing incident, but I think, unfortunately, the fact that he's lifted, I think you can't really argue with that. But again, Pavlik, he's playing some good some games there, I think, in my opinion. You know, with Smolinski, and you know, he knew that Zagar was coming, but the fact that if he hadn't lifted, I think then probably he would have probably got away with it. Matty would have done.
Heat 16, we saw why Fast Freddy is called Fast Freddy. He's speaking to Kiri.
Freddie, 11 points, and that last heat, what a move you pulled.
Yeah, no, I feel great at the moment. You know, it's all about winning heats, and I'm winning heats at the moment, so I'm super happy. I'm pleased that I can give the crowd something to cheer for, and got to keep my focus, though. I have one more heat in the main event, and really have to take one step at a time.
Well, you've got some good points to get you to the semis, but you're enjoying riding tonight.
I am. Things are working really well for me, and you know, as I said, winning heats is what it's all about.
Change?
He lived up to his name, didn't he, in that last race off the gate number 3, and he was gone, wasn't he?
Yeah, again, we called it the Ty Woofenden move. He just literally, they moved out and he just cut back up the inside, and again, just shot off in the distance and was gone. He looks super fast tonight, certainly does. Fast Fred.
Could he be a winner this evening, do you think, potentially? Certainly shows that
obviously, it depends on the gates, really. I mean, I think if it depends where he gets the pick in the gates. If he, I don't know whether I'm looking down at my programme now. Frederick Lindgren. Oh, we're getting caught out here.
So he's got these on gate the outside for his next ride, but not until heat 20.
Heat 20, yes. So it's going to be a tough one there. He could, you know, maybe the others will be thinking of the move that he's just pulled off last time, and he might be looking to do the same again. If he doesn't quite make it, I don't think he'll go for the big blast around the outside. I think he'll certainly look for the cutback again.
We can see Antonio Lindback there in the red helmet colour up against Ty Woofenden in this one, both of them on 11 points. Lindback, the Swedish champion over the summer, he had a great World Cup picking up the silver medal, and I thought Cardiff might be like a bit of a springboard, especially winning there last year, but again disappointing in Cardiff, but having a great night this evening.
Yeah, no, another one who was very fast in the World Games. He looked really good in Roslav too. And yeah, he certainly found a little bit of energy at the moment, Antonio, and we all know that what his potential is, but he hasn't quite lived up to it.
4 more heats to go then before we see the semi-finals. Let's get back to Malilla in Sweden. Your commentators are Calvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Here we go with heat 17. Antonio Lindback off the inside, alongside a man who's level on 11 points with him, Ty Woofenden. Niels Christian Iversen needs a couple of points at least here. Win preferably is off gate 3. And Matti Zagar is the rider off the outside gate in yellow, who feels hard done to after his previous exclusion here at Malilla. But fascinating clash between Lindback and Woofenden off the inside 2 gates.
Absolutely, a little bit of psychology there, I think. You know, both of them are riding great, and something has to give. It'll be interesting to see which way it goes. Iversen's an interesting character here. He's on, what's he on? He's on 6 points. He's had a win in his opening ride and then has faded a bit. Failed to score last night in a hell of a race. I mean, crikey, it really was a tear-up. But he needs to get, well, what would you say, 2 points at the very least. The win would guarantee him the semi-finals.
This is the Teng Tools Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix here at the G&B Arena in Malilla. We're live with the last 4 heats of the main event, followed by the semi-finals and the final. And good thing about Grand Prix Speedway, we're always guaranteed a last heat decider. We'll have the same tonight.
Yeah, so far we have, yes.
Absolutely. Heat 17. Here we go. Lindback and Woofenden level on 11 points apiece. Off the inside 2 gates. Who's going to get there? Lindback's made a beauty. There's no room for Woofenden to cut back. So Woofenden's gone to the back of the race. Would you believe that? It's coming through as Zagar into second spot. Woofenden now battling away. The lead is with Lindback. Zagar now trying the outside run. Here comes Zagar. Woofenden is third. Niels Christian Iversen at the back, and Woofenden now trying to really turn the bike hard to get the better of Zagar up the inside.
He had to turn the bike hard, Nigel. Otherwise he would have ridden into the side of Zagar. Lindback is inspired again. Zagar's coming on strong here in third place. Woofenden running wide. Zagar even wider. Down the back straight, neck and neck. Zagar and Woofenden. Zagar, I think he's got the better of him. Yes, he has. It's going to be really tough. Woofenden again, lifting. Zagar now to the inside. Nothing to choose between those two.
Brilliant speedway here. Lindback's got the race in the can, no problem at all. But who's going to finish second? Woofenden clamps the line. But listen to the crowd here at Malilla. What a performance from Antonio Lindback. We were talking many times this season about how the Swedish riders haven't really been able to make a big impression on the world scene, apart from Fredrik Lindgren. There's no more Andreas Jonsson in the Grand Prix. But here tonight, Antonio Lindback, simply stunning. So is Freddie Lindgren. And the Swedes have really come good tonight.
Have they ever? That is a fantastic performance from Lindback. And he has ridden brilliantly there. That was no easy task in Heat 17, and he made light work of it.
Yes, Lindback and Woofenden with Zagar third, Iversen at the back. And this is how it stands now. Lindback, 14 points. Woofenden on 13. Lindgren on 11.
Yeah.
Great night for all three of those boys.
They're going great guns, and Janowski's chasing them very hard. But Lindback, well, once again, in inspiration from the inside. Brilliant start from him. Woofenden doesn't get there. Iversen comes up the inside momentarily, but unfortunately for the Danish man, just hasn't quite got the speed when he really needs it. Woofenden then comes back into the picture, again from the tapes, into that first corner. Iversen chopping to the inside. It works momentarily for him. But unfortunately for him, it doesn't stay there. Zagar working hard. It was a hell of a race between Zagar and Woofenden. Really was entertaining stuff. And Woofenden finally coming out on top, but Zagar made him work really very hard for it indeed. I thought here Zagar had done it and done enough, but Woofenden responded. But for this man, 14 hugely valuable points. And all of a sudden, he's beginning to make his mark. He moves on to 50. And he's only just 7 points behind the top 8 now, and he was well behind coming into tonight.
One big score in the GP can transform your season, can't it, Kelv?
Yeah, and he's got the possibility of 2 more opportunities.
Yes.
So, yeah, another 6 points available to him.
Woofenden now goes to 4th in the World Championship. Point ahead of Lindgren, but Lindgren has got a race in hand. Right, Heat 18.
Good stuff.
Big race, it is good stuff. Really enjoying this Grand Prix tonight. You've got Jason Doyle and Patrick Dudek alongside each other, two of the title contenders alongside each other in the middle 2 gates here of heat number 18, and both riders need to win the race to give themselves any chance of a top 8 finish tonight and a place in the semi-finals. Here we go with that lineup: Smarsling, Doyle, Dudek, Holder. Massive race, this one. Heat number 18. Referee with his finger on the button puts the green light on. And they're away first time of asking, and Smarslik has made a beauty. Bartosz Smarslik has that lead, charging through into second, Chris Holder. What can Doyle do now? The battle of the Aussies in second and third. Doyle goes high and wide. Can Doyle come around the outside? This is a smart move here, and Holder just about holds on. Will he take Doyle to the fence? It's a fair ride, to be fair. Dudek's night looks like being over. Real opportunity for Janowski to cash in on the title race tonight.
Absolutely, you're spot on there. Doyle and Holder working hard, and Doyle's now got the better of Chris Holder, who went too wide. Can he respond? Now Dudek on the inside! Oh, 3 abreast! Does that work? Oh, just about. Doyle around the outside. My goodness gracious me!
Holder into third!
No racing room at all. Unbelievably brave from Doyle. Smarslik's cleared off, but it's not over yet.
Yes, into the final turns. We know that the win is going to Smarslik, and Doyle's going to hang on. Oh! Place battle between Holder and Dudek.
Wow!
Can't quite call that one.
Very close for third place. What a speedway race that was, apart from Smarslik, who had a really lovely ride out of the last corner, charging to the tapes. Does he get there?
I think Holder might. Has he? Yeah. Does Holder hold on there?
Maybe just. Very close indeed. What a speedway race for second and third. Brilliant speedway throughout. Smarslik cleared off out in front. Doyle, unbelievably brave there to come on for 2 points, won't make the semi-finals, but by crikey, did he ride hard for that second place. And I think Holder may have just held on, but awfully tight, awfully tight.
Well, 2 points like that for Doyle, you don't know how crucial they may prove to be at the end of the season. And for Bartosz Marslik, that is a huge, huge win for the pole. Bartosz Marslik, who moves on to 10 points. Well, we're just waiting for confirmation of third place.
Well, we'll have a look at it again, because it was quite entertaining, wasn't it?
It's worth watching again, for sure.
Yes, yes. So, round the first corner, Smarslik, nice and comfortable off the inside. Doyle down the outside. We're seeing it again now. The run to the line. And Doyle's comfortably in second place, and boom. I think, you know, from that angle, it looks like Holder's just, by the width of the front tyre almost, just hung on for third place, but very difficult call. Trouble is that Dudek is hidden by the safety fence and you just can't see where his front wheel is. You almost need a head-on, you know, but the problem is he's tucked right up underneath the...
Confirmed Holder is third, Kel.
Okay, yeah, that's how it looked, didn't it?
Yeah, so Chris Holder third in that one, so a blow for Patrick Dudek. His night is over. And he has to settle for 5 points tonight, the same as Jason Doyle. So a real opportunity for Janowski to cash in. He's on 83 points, level with Doyle. So we know that Maciej Janowski, if he wins his final race here, and the semi, and the final, would lead the World Championship by 9 points going to Gorzów.
Yeah, no
free
easy
hit from here.
No easy task, though, is it? You know, like, it's quite tough, this championship. So, but I get your meaning. There is the opportunity does present itself, and I don't know if he's looking quite that far ahead right now because he's on gate 4 in heat 19, but certainly the way the cards have played tonight with Dudek and Doyle just not quite at their best, Janowski's got a chance.
As indeed, he's off the outside gate here. Magic.
Yep.
As he's known.
Brilliant rider.
He is. Heat number 19. Piotr Pawlicki off the inside. Emil Sayfutinov goes off gate number 2 in blue. Martin Vasilik gate 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski off the outside in yellow. A reminder, we move on to Gorzów in a couple of weeks' time for the Grand Prix there at the Edward Jansard Stadium. Then it's Tetero in Germany. Then it's Stockholm, the Friends Arena. Then it's Torun again in Poland.
Yeah. And
then it's Australia and Melbourne. So lots of racing to be done.
Will it go all the way this year? Could well have done last year, but unfortunately Doyle got hurt in Torun, so the Australians were denied that opportunity. Might be different this time around. They'll certainly be hoping so. Doyle will be back, so will Dudek. They're too good not to be. Meanwhile, heat 19, another tasty-looking lineup here, that's for sure. Pawlicki has changed his equipment there. They were fiddling around with bikes before he comes up to tapes. No easy task here as well for Janowski on the outside, because Sayfutinov and Vasilik have been good tonight.
Yeah, they've been good to watch. They always are, really. Great riders. Heat number 19. Green lights on. Away first time. Now, who's going to emerge? Who's going to get there? And it looks as though Vasilik is going high and wide. Janowski's trying the inside run! Oh! Maciej Janowski looking superb. The man in the white helmet colour is Martin Vasilik, but Maciej Janowski riding the wheels off the motorbike, looking absolutely imperious here. What a performance from Maciej Janowski.
Oh, yeah, world-class first lap there from Janowski, because Vasilik was riding the wheels off his motorbike, and he's still there. He's keeping him very honest indeed. Certainly up the inside, Janowski and Vasilik really going head-to-head. Sayfutinov has been dropped. He said he was looking for some more speed, but he hasn't found it here. On the outside, Janowski. Vasilik on the inside, into the last lap. Once again, Janowski is magic here. Brilliant stuff from him.
Yeah, Vasilik's going to finish on 10 points. That's enough for the semi-final for him.
Yep.
Sayfutinov will finish on 9. And Maciej Janowski is on his way to 11 points after, remember, his opening ride, pulling out of the race with a burnt-out clutch. What would it have been like? What was his score have been like if he hadn't have had that problem?
You've got to give him another couple of points.
Yes.
You know, and I think on the evidence of his performance this evening, he could easily have had that. So, but that's the way it works out. But he's responded brilliantly. Winner in Cardiff, really moving in the right direction tonight. Maciej Janowski looking like the real deal.
He is indeed. 11 points from 4 rides effectively, although he's completed 5, but it's 4 rides effectively because he packed up in 1, and that's a tremendous effort. Tremendous. Lindback 14. Look at all the double-figure scores here tonight.
Oh, it's so tight. It's so tight, and Lindback has been brilliant. Imperious, I think you called it. I like that word.
Thank you.
Don't know quite what it means. But
neither do I. It just sounded good.
Just got it out there.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I'll Google it later.
Well done. And round that first corner, what a move from Janowski. That really is sensational stuff from him. Up the inside. Martin Vasilik, fair play. He hasn't won a race tonight, but by crikey, is he ridden hard.
5 second places.
5 second places. Well, that's enough. That gets you there, doesn't it? The 10 points, you're in. And he has ridden really solidly. This is unbelievably competitive down that back straight, 4 abreast almost. Really exciting stuff. Janowski and Vasilik going head to head. Janowski looking imperious out in front, we say it again, and Zayfutanov back in 3rd. Please let me know what it means. I think it means you look quite good, and we'll go with that. But Janowski from the outside, he's had gate 4 twice and he's won both times. That's a great effort.
As Kelvin Tatum's Twitter feed is about to be clogged up by tweets about what imperious means, no doubt.
The Oxford English Dictionary is being used overtime right now.
Heat number 20. So, this man in red is Martin Smolinski. And in for
last time.
Greg Hancock tonight, yeah. But he is quite a character, Smolinski. And he goes off the inside gate. Peter Killerman goes off gate number 2. Linus Sundström gate 3. Can Freddie Lindgren win and go level with Antonio Lindback into the semi-finals on 14 points?
Well, if you look at that, the graphic, it would suggest yes. Because the other 3 riders have only got 4 points between them. And Freddie's really quite comfortable on 11 and has ridden superbly well. So, yeah, he's the red-hot favourite here, but gate 4 can be problematic. It hasn't been for Janowski. He's made the best of it in the first corner. Got to pull something out of the bag in the first turn if you don't get there.
Yep, so here we go. Heat number 20. Good start by Killerman off gate number 2. A fantastic start. Lindgren now is going to try to chop up the inside again. Can he get there? He moves into 2nd. Clever move from Freddie Lindgren once again. Charging hard around the outside is Linus Sundström in the white helmet colour. Lindgren caught up in traffic, but he's surely going to try and go wide now. Oh, he's staying on the inside. Trying to try the inside rod. Oh, what a move from Freddie Lindgren. Up the inside he goes, and it looks as though we're going to have 2 Swedish riders in the Swedish Grand Prix leading the scorecard with 14 points before the semis.
Well, Freddie Lindgren riding out of his skin there. That really was a class move. He got the bike upright on the tyre, found the drive he needed, and that bike is working beautifully for him out in front. Kilderman now coming under pressure from Linus Sundström, but the race is all about fast Freddie Lindgren. He is riding as well as ever here tonight.
Let the crowd bring him home! Fast Freddie Lindgren! What a performance! Look at the Dakar man on his home shale here. Rides for them in the Swedish League. Wolverhampton in the British League as well. He'll be back at the West Midlands on Monday night. And what a performance he's had.
Absolutely fantastic, out of the top draw. Proper performance there from fast Freddie Lindgren. 14 out of 15. Don't celebrate too hard. You've got 2 more rides, hopefully remaining this evening to win the Grand Prix. But crikey, he has done his World Championship no harm at all. Freddie Lindgren riding brilliantly.
Lindgren, Kilderman, Sundström the result.
Our top 8 riders then about to decide their gates for the semi-final. Stay with us for the final 3 heats from Sweden coming up after this break. So we await the gate draw from our 8 riders into the semi-finals. And if we've worked this out right, which I think we have, Pawlicki has made it. He's the 8th rider, but on 6 points. And it was funny how we were talking earlier how the threshold to get into the semi-finals seems to have been raised this year, yet he gets in on 6 points. And now Doyle misses out by just one point. Which is incredible.
I'm sure Jason will be kicking himself there, thinking that 1 extra point that he could have got in that other race before his penultimate one in that one. But, it's brought up some good racing lines tonight. It's not massively deep dirt out there, but the lines are making it, and everybody's cutting back and using, it's all around the curb a little bit now, getting the back wheels on the dirt.
So this is different, isn't it?
A bit new, isn't it? Eh?
This is the draw that you've seen for the first semi-final. So in terms of gates, then, have they behaved how you thought they were going to behave tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've looked at our man who does the stats, who's never wrong, is he? So yeah, the inside gates have been definitely the favourable one. But Martin Vasulik come off of gate 3 last time, but again, made that same mistake, just rushing out wide and instead of coming down on the line. I don't understand it.
And yet still, 10 points, and he hasn't won a race, but he's in the semis.
He's in the semis, he's made some good starts, and he's looked very quick, but his track lines tonight, for me, have let him down.
In terms of the Swedish boys that we've got into the 2 semi-finals, who would you say has the best? Or do you think we're going to see both Freddie Lindgren and Antonio Lindback in the final?
Well, they've just all gone for the inside gate. So Ty Wolfenden now there's going to pick blue. Depends where Smart. I think Smarzik will go yellow. Yeah, there you go. The dark horse. Well, I said he'd go yellow. But and there we go. Well, you're right. Pavlicki did make it.
He must feel very lucky to make the semi-finals.
I know, he's not really looked that quick neither, has he, tonight? He's, like I said, I think he's played the game a little bit, in fairness.
And in terms of Jason Doyle, do you think it was a case tonight more mechanical than injury, do you think, has hindered him this evening?
You won't hear Jason complaining about his injury. No. He certainly didn't look as quick as he has done previously, so I'm sure he'll get back to the drawing board and try something new.
It was clear to see from Heat 18, though, just how every point matters. Jason Doyle already knew that well, having said that, he could have made the semi-finals now. But at that point, I'm sure he would have thought, I'm not going to make the semi-finals, but every point matters.
Every point matters, and just trying to get up as high as you can and just thinking settling for second, But they were all over the places.
Well, an example of that,
it was a great race. Holder was in the mix. Chris has been riding well tonight. It's good to see, and it's getting quite brutal out there. I mean, the one that surprised me a little bit, has faded off the last couple of weeks, is Dudek. I mean, I can't believe how quick he was at the start, and now all of a sudden he's really dropped down. He's not particularly riding good lines. He's locking up in the middle of the corners, entering the corners, not even in the middle. He's locking up, entering the corner.
Can he be forgiven, though? This is his first year, of course, in the Grand Prix series. He's still up there at the top. This is his first, it's his debut at this particular track as well.
Oh yeah, but the trouble was, when you put yourself in that position, you're there to be shot at, and everybody's, well, he can do it. We know he can do it, but as we said, as we've seen it with Magic, he's taking his time to get the consistency, and now we're seeing the consistency from Magic Janowski.
Yeah, still learning though, Dudek. I'm sure
exactly, of
Is
course.
a learning curve as well.
It's as I said, some people can take to it and just go for it, but. Obviously he's finding it a lot tougher. But as I said, he's just entering the corner and he's locking the bike up, coming in the middle of the corners and not letting it run like he was previously.
This has been his worst round so far this year. Worst points, in terms of points, and he opens everything up at the top. But he could still be a world champion without winning a Grand Prix, are we saying? He's not. He could be a winner without winning.
I think that's right. We've had it in the past. I think, was it Mark Loram? I think Mark Loram did it a few years ago. Somebody else has done it. So it is possible.
Is that fair?
Yes.
It's the way the system works.
The way the system is, it's fair. At the end of the day, they're the most consistent ones. Yeah. It's about being consistent in this. Whether it's right or wrong that you haven't won, it doesn't matter. The points add up and they tell you you're a world champion.
Absolutely. Every point matters. Chris Holder, who we saw go very well at this round last year. He looked very, very quick, made it into the final. Speaking to him at Cardiff, it seems to be the speed that he's just struggling with at the moment. He's not getting the right amount of speed, although right on the line with Dudek in that last race. But he seems to be struggling with that this year.
Yeah, Chris has had a tough year, I think, privately as well. He's had tough things going on at home and that. And with that, then obviously recently with the Kings Lynn situation, it's probably a lot to have on it. And yeah, he hasn't looked as quick as he has done in previous. But I'm sure we know he's more than capable of doing it.
Well, he may have to rely on a wild card. We don't know yet, of course. It depends, and we've got a lot of racing to go. We're only halfway through. But would you give him a wild card for next year?
It'd be a tough one because you can argue, you know, Greg's, if Greg doesn't make it,
Nicky Pedersen, would he get a wild card again?
I wouldn't say Nicky would get the way he's been riding. No disrespect to Nicky, because I like Nicky, but I don't think that he would be deserving of one because he's struggled this year. He's not really been at the top of his game.
And he's at the latter stages of his career.
Exactly. I think that the organisers would be looking for people that... I think you could argue, Chris, should be... He's not... I don't think he's had a wild card before, has he?
No.
I'm sure our stat man would tell us. But I don't think he's had a wild card. And you've only got one Aussie in there, so potentially he could be given the choice. And he's a monster rider, maybe. I don't know.
With 3 heats left then, who are you saying is going to be the winner here in Malilla?
Oh, the winner in Manila. I'm going to go Limbach.
Limbach is Alan Rossiter's
my kiss of death.
pick.
It's the kiss of death.
Let's go to our first semi-final then. Here's Calvin and Nigel.
Here we go for the first semi-final then. Antonio Limbach, the Swedish star, going off the inside in red. Mats Janowski, the World Championship leader, by 3 points over Jason Doyle. He goes off gate 2 in blue. Martin Vasilik, 5 second places. Another second place would do him nicely here because he'd be into the final. He's off gate 3 in white. And Emil Saifutinov going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Semi-final number 1 here at the G&B Arena. Malilla, the home of Dakarna in the Swedish League. Freddie Lindgren's home track, Mats Janowski's home track, Patrick Dudek's home track in the Swedish Elitserien.
It is indeed. It's a fabulous lineup for the first semi-final. Janowski has been terrific. He's got a 3-point lead, as you say, in the World Championship, an opportunity to build on that now. Limbach, well, he's recaptured the form that he had in the World Cup. It really has been a terrific display from him. Martin Vasilik has worked really hard. He's grafted all night, and he fully deserves to be in the semi-final on 10 points. Hasn't won a race, but he's been there in every race.
And Janowski in Okelv effectively has only dropped 1 point to a rider in a race, effectively because his first race he pulled up with a burnt-out clutch.
Exactly, so he has had a night that is comparable in truth to Limbach on the inside of him. Inside gate has already had 9 victories. They did not hesitate to go for the inside. Lindgren, who's in semi-final 2, and Limbach in semi-final number 1. Here we go.
Yep, big race coming up then here. First semi-final in Malilla. Which way will this one go now? Great start from Janowski off gate number 2. Limbach will try the outside run, but now coming through is Vasilik. Janowski's got loads of speed, though. Limbach has the lead. Janowski goes out wide. Janowski's almost touching the air fence. Limbach has the lead. Saifutinov now threatening Janowski in second place. And Saifutinov has come through. What a ride from Emil Saifutinov. Now Janowski up the inside. What a race.
Brilliant stuff now. Saifutinov coming back at Janowski. Janowski charged it in that bottom corner on the opening lap. He went very wide indeed, and he opened the door, and Saifutinov pounced. What a ride from Limbach. Off the inside gate, he is riding a stormer. He's got just over a lap to go. He should make the final from there.
Yeah, looking superb here, Antonio Limbach. The Rio rocket down the back straight. And Mats Janowski has worked so hard. He's going to extend his lead in the World Championship to 5 points here. Mats Janowski, and what a ride from Antonio Limbach.
Yeah.
Could we have a Swedish winner here in Malilla tonight? That is a wonderful ride from Antonio Limbach. Crowd absolutely loving every minute of this. And quite right too, because the Swedes have been through a tough time of it in Grand Prix Speedway over the past few years. But Limbach has really reignited the Grand Prix tonight as far as Swedish fans are concerned.
What a performance this is. Can he go on and win it? On the evidence of semi-final 1, he can. He was outstanding there, and Limbach made it look easy out in front.
Limbach the winner with Janowski second, and then Saifutinov third, who threatened Janowski.
Yeah.
And Vasilik at the back. His night is over, but Antonio Lindback is now on 17 points, and he's now just 6 points off a top 8 place. He was miles behind the top 8.
Well,
reminder, the top 8 books you a place for next year.
Absolutely dead right. A freshly prepared track, and it's Lindback off the inside. Janowski's there alongside him. Vasilik chopping to the inside. Saifutinov is out the back. Now, you see this move now from Janowski. He elects to go right around the outside in the bottom corner. We're seeing the start again. The first turn, down the back straight for the first time, and it's now Janowski elects to go right to the fence. He leaves the door wide open here. He's vulnerable, extreme. He gambled big time, and he puts himself under a lot of pressure because Saifutinov, who's a savvy character, gets up the inside. Janowski now responds superbly. He's got his wheels in line, and he gets the better of the Russian, but by crikey, Janowski rode his luck there, a decision that he probably wouldn't make the second time around. Brilliant stuff from Magic to get back into second place, but Antonio Lindback, a class of his own here, 17 out of 18 points. He looks like, well, he's going to be a hard man to beat in the final.
Yeah, good to see Antonio Lindback on fantastic form. Really is riding quite beautifully tonight as we build up to semi-final 2. Maciej Janowski will be, well, he's got to be happy, surely. He's in the final. And he's leading the World Championship. He
always keeps his emotions in check, Nigel. I've noticed that. Yeah. It seems to be a way of keeping himself under control. There'll be big smiles if he wins, though.
Just a bit. Freddie Lindgren now, another Swede off the inside in red. Well known to Wolverhampton fans in the UK. Ty Woffenden, gate 2 in blue from Great Britain. Gate 3 in white, Piotr Pawlicki, who qualifies for the semi on 6 points, would you believe?
Wow.
Woffen didn't make it in Cardiff on 9. Bartosz Smarslik going off the outside in yellow. Here we go. This is going to be worth watching, folks. Here we go with the second semi-final, and Woffenden's made a beauty off gate 2. Now he goes wide. That allows the opportunity for Smarslik to come through. Smarslik charging hard and has closed the door on Woffenden, and Woffenden finds himself at the back, but the lead is with Lindgren. What a ride this is from fast Freddie Lindgren. Superb Pawlicki coming through. Oh, they stay on their bike only just. Woffenden is watching closely at the back, but the lead is with Lindgren. The 2 poles going for it. Second and third. This is extraordinary speedway.
He hits the line of Smarslik, and Woffenden's through in the second place. Incredible speedway. Smarslik now responding. Certainly Freddie Lindgren is clear. He's away. Smarslik now getting the better of Woffenden. What a lap and a half of speedway that was between the 2 poles. Freddie Lindgren on up to go. Looking fantastic out in front. Set for the final. 2 Swedes in the final. Gotta be.
It's fast Freddie Lindgren who rides here for Dakar in the Swedish League. What a performance from fast Freddie. 17 points and he's in the final. Smarslik's there as well. Woffenden misses out agonisingly. Pawlicki at the back. We are seeing some quite breathtaking speedway racing tonight.
Oh, we are indeed. Breathtaking, that is exactly right. The way the 2 poles were throwing the bikes at each other there midway through the race was extraordinary. How on earth they both stayed on. Freddie Lindgren, well, it was a bit of argy-bargy with Woffenden going to the first corner, but he was having none of it. And Freddie just charged to the first corner. And the second semi-final goes the way for Freddie Lindgren. Brilliant stuff.
Lindgren, Smarslik, the finishing order, with Woffenden third. So it's Lindgren and Smarslik with Lindback and Janowski into the final. And that will be coming very soon. And that will be well worth watching, folks.
Very soon indeed. Could we have a home winner in Malilla? 2 Swedes in the final. We'll be back after this break. Action on BT Sport tomorrow in the form of MotoGP. The race for the title moves to Austria as reigning champion Marc Marquez looks to make it 3 wins on the trot as he seeks a 4th world title. Coverage gets underway at 9:30 on BT Sport 2. Also looking for a 3rd win on the trot is Maciej Janowski. He's in the final here in Sweden, as is Antonio Lindback. I noticed, Alan, you're already filling out your form in terms of...
I've already done it. I've gone Lindback in red, Lindgren blue, Smarslik white, and Janowski in yellow.
We shall see.
But it depends on which way round Janowski and Smarslik will be.
Are you still going for... Well, your dark horse is still in there in terms of Smarslik.
Yeah.
You did say before the semi-finals you were backing Lindback.
Yeah, but that's the kiss of death. It's the commentator's kiss of death when you recommend somebody's going to do it, always goes wrong. But unfortunately, Antonio, I'm still sticking with you.
Only one previous Swedish winner in Malilla before, but they've got 2 goers at it now, 2 home riders here to thrill the crowd.
Here we go.
As it is, it's always hard to predict, isn't it?
Here we go,
this
red.
Series.
That's my first one right. Tick.
Okay.
Freddie.
Who did you say here?
Frederick Lindgren blue. Yep, got that one right. This is the one where I could slip up here. Magic made a good one off a 4 last time.
He's going to have to be quick, Magic, if he's to catch Lindback. Lindback has looked very, very quick this season.
Oh, he's gone white. He's done me. He's done me.
He must
Cheers,
have heard
Magic.
you.
You've heard me. There you go. Smarslik there. There you go. He's done me there, Magic. Thank you. Oh, I'm gutted. I was going so well there. I was on a roll, but I knew it was a toss-up between there. But I thought the fact that he'd made a good one from 4 last time, that I was going for that.
Is Lindback the man to beat in this final?
It's difficult to say. Lindgren's flying tonight. He's only dropped 1 point, and that was to Antonio. And Chuck Janowski in there, who's come alive now. He got caught up in the back market, with the back battling with Ty and Pavlicki last time. So it's gonna be tight.
We're still waiting, unfortunately, to see Ty Woffenden in a final. It certainly looked... Well, he looked great tonight, didn't he? He had some exceptional races this evening, but his night over again in a semi-final, which he'll be disappointed with. But he'll take a lot of positives from this evening.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking here. I mean, Freddie give old Ty a bit of an elbow there because Ty got across, but Freddie gave him a boss just enough to push him out off the line. Otherwise, I think he would have clamped it. And then with Smarslik coming in, and I think actually he messed up Ty there. And then chuck in the mix Pavlicki, and they're just chucking at each other and dropping it on each other. Look, he just dropped it on Pavlicki, and he's like gone across the concrete there. Ty's there tucked in at the back. It's look, there you go. Look, the 2 pole. Hey, get over there! I'm coming through, as Nigel would say. And then Woofy gets up the inside there, and then I think he just gets it. Unfortunately, didn't quite get enough room there, but he certainly would be. Far more happier with his performance than I would have thought, Ty. Considering what he hasn't been as dominant as we all know he can be.
All the riders we've heard from have been very complimentary of the track. It's a great racetrack, isn't it, at Malilla?
Yeah, it's a fantastic racetrack. You've got all different lines. The inside, I think now tonight it's gone off a little bit slicker than normal. Normally you could have a big run around the outside. I think the threat of rain. I think because the forecast was for rain tonight, so I don't think they put much dirt on the track tonight. So there wasn't so much out wide, and it was all around the curb tonight. And I think the inside gate's going to work in the final. I think.
Well, the final is coming up now. Here's Calvin and Nigel.
Here we go with the grand final then. Antonio Lindback going off the inside in red. 17 points tonight, as has Freddie Lindgren. Gate 2 in blue. Maciej Janowski. Gate 3 white, the series leader. Bartosz Smarslik going off the outside in yellow. What a lineup for the grand final. And the inside gate, Kel, do you reckon a big advantage?
Well, it has been so far tonight, and there's no doubt that Lindback has taken full advantage of it. He's had it several times, and he's been winning races for fun. But he's up against Lindgren now, and Lindgren has been absolutely terrific. Something's got to give there. Janowski already with a 5-point lead in the championship, coming out in the final. And anything he scores now will stretch that lead. What a night it has been for him. It's been a sensational night of Speedway. We have witnessed some truly extraordinarily good Speedway. 2 poles, 2 Swedes. Who's going to come out on top? The Swedes will be absolutely delighted if they can win here tonight. They really, those 2 Swedish boys, Nige, they have ridden brilliantly.
Yeah, and there's a great atmosphere here in the G&B Arena, as you would expect as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic atmosphere. We're back in Sweden in September for the Friends Arena, the Grand Prix in Stockholm. So we look forward to coming back to Sweden for that in September. Right, here we go. The grand final of the Tengtal Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Which way will it go? We await the green light. Away from the start of go, and Janowski's made a beauty off gate number 3, but so has Lindback off the inside. Now Smarslik coming through in yellow, and it's a 1-2 for the Swedes at the moment, but Smarslik's coming on strong. Can you believe this from the outside gate? Antonio Lindback has the lead, and now Lindgren coming through again. They're all bunched up. Which way is this going to go? Smarslik now riding hard. Lindback's got to be careful. Smarslik comes on strong.
Oh, Janowski out of control. Somehow Lindback is still in front. Lindgren's there. Smarslik is riding out of his skin in second place, but not for much longer. Lindgren now through into second place. Smarslik neck and neck down the back straight. Lindback in front. Oh my goodness, this is going to get tight.
Yes, going into the last lap we are. Is it going to be a Swedish winner, or will Smarslik pick the pocket of Antonio Lindback?
Here he goes.
There we go with one big swoop around the outside. Lindback staying on the inside run, and Smarslik's done it! Smarslik's done it! Oh my goodness gracious me! Smarslik stuns and silences the Swedes with a stunning move around the outside. Antonio Lindback second, Fredrik Lindgren third, and Janowski cannot land a blow. Janowski has a 5-point lead in the title race going to Gorzhov in a couple of weeks' time. But speaking of Gorzhov's very own Bartosz Smarslik, well, that is one of the most amazing rides in the final to steal a victory right on the line.
What a ride from Bartosz Smarslik. That really is a fantastic performance from him. It just looked like it was going to be Lindback's night. He'd done nothing wrong, but Smarslik finds some inspiration in the final and roars around the outside to pick the pocket of the Swedes on the line as he comes to the conclusion in the final. Smarslik, well, all four deserve a pat on the back. That was some speedway race.
Amazing speedway, absolutely amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
And Antonio Lindback 19, Fredrik Lindgren 18, Smarslik wins the Grand Prix. It's a win, 15 points.
Here we see it, Nige.
Yeah, this was brilliant. I wish we could see all 4 laps here.
Oh, this is fantastic stuff. Into the first corner. Lindgren then follows him through. Smarslik, tough in that first corner with Janowski. Janowski runs out of room, but there's nothing to choose between them as they complete the first lap. Here he comes. Smarslik charging hard. Janowski almost running in the back of them, but he's still not out of it. Lindgren working hard, working for his life on the inside, desperately trying to get to the front. But here we go. Smarslik with one last throw of the dice, swoops off that last corner and steals the win away from Antonio Lindback. What a ride from Bartosz.
I just felt there, Kelv, when I saw that Antonio had decided to stay on the inside. It allowed Smarslik to run round the outside with all the speed.
Absolutely, and the speed was generated in the corner before. He had the momentum, he had the speed down the back straight. It wasn't balked, so he was able to carry that through that last corner. And the result of that was that he was able to win the Grand Prix. What a night. Got a feel for the Swedes. One of them deserved to win that. They really did. But Bartosz Smarslik, what a class performance. And he steals the show coming out of the last corner on the last lap. What a night of Speedway.
Let's get some early reaction now with Kiri.
Bartosz, what an amazing final. You deserve that. And your first ever GP win.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy because after Cardiff, so a little bit better for my race. And thank you, the Rysiu Kowalski, because my engine's on now, so the same speed the last year. And amazing evening, and I waiting for the next round.
What a ride, what a night. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was some performance from him. Hasn't had the best of fortunes in the first part of the series, but by crikey, the last 2 rounds. And that performance in that race, he has to be immensely proud when you consider how good Lindgren and Lindback have been. And for him to stand on top of the box tonight, he can be very, very proud of himself.
Very much so. And look at the title race here. Janowski 88, Doyle 83, and Dudek on 80. But Lindgren making big strides up to 76. Wolfenden 71. Smarslik on 70 now. Sayfutinov 68 and Vasilik 59. So here's the moment when the winner is brought up onto the podium. The two Swedes probably saying, how the heck did we lose that?
Exactly, and because Smarslik produced something that was beyond good. It was just extraordinary. He just kept coming harder and harder. And at one stage in the final, there was 4 abreast, and Janowski ran out of room in the bottom corner. National anthem time. Pleased with that, and Smarslik, of course, and his family, his mechanics, will be delighted with that. You don't win that many Grand Prix, and when you do, you need to. Thomas Carlson coming up to present the first trophy of the evening to Fast Freddie Lindgren, who should be rightly proud himself, Nigel, because he has ridden superbly.
Yeah, brilliant performance indeed. Couldn't agree more. Lindback, brilliant. Looks a little bit disappointed, which you can understand, as he was leading the race.
He was within just a few short meters of winning it, wasn't he? And so he had it snatched away from him. Didn't really do anything wrong. You know, very difficult down that back straight. Where do I go? Wide. If he'd gone wide, Smarslik would have dive-bombed him. He really was in a no-win situation.
He's dropped 2 points all night and hasn't won the meeting.
Yeah, incredible.
It's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very harsh. Well,
what a night, what a ride. He wasn't really the favourite. He got better and better as the night went on. He was a little under the radar early on in the evening. He had sort of thirds and seconds in the middle part of the meeting, but then came on really strongly.
Yeah, very much so. What a night.
Yeah, it's been a great Speedway event. The Grand Prix really goes from strength to strength once again. 2017 is proving to be a vintage year, as I hope, well, hopefully there'll be some vintage champagne left there after the celebrations, but certainly we're seeing some vintage Speedway. And Smarslik, well, he's back to his best. He was number 3 in the world last year, but didn't show that at the beginning of this year. But the last 2 Grand Prix have been much more like it, and that was something a little bit special there, the way he was able to win that Grand Prix. That was top draw stuff.
Selfie time for the social media channels, and brilliant stuff. And the riders really deserve great respect for what they've done. Champagne all over the phone.
Yeah, can't get it to work now. That's a shame. And certainly...
Don't wipe the numbers out.
No, it's all gone.
You're going to lose all the numbers.
Yeah, well, just a slight delay in proceedings there. Smarslik just conducting proceedings. Has been a great night for him. He'll be boosted by that. Super professional outfit. And with Gorjov just round the corner in a fortnight's time, it couldn't have come at a better time. So selfie time again. Second time we've had a restart. There's a warning for Smarslik. Certainly is. Can't misbehave like that anymore. Patience, sir, but here we go.
Yeah.
But with Gorjov round the corner, Nige, well, he could well be suddenly a major threat, because he's on 70 World Championship points and he's got 2 home Grand Prix to come.
Couldn't have timed it any better, could he, really? Brilliant, 70 points he's on. Woffenden's had a good night as well. 71 points for Woffenden. And then Lindgren on 76, Dudek 80, Doyle 83 and Janowski 88. So some terrific stuff out there tonight.
Absolutely.
This place never disappoints.
Janowski, crikey, what a hard semi-final he had. When he actually had to shut the throttle in turns 3 and 4, I thought he was going to disappear into the air fence, but remarkably again, the skill level of the poles really are quite extraordinary.
Well, Kelvin, it's just about time to wrap up here this evening. It's been a terrific night. Your closing thoughts? A
fabulous effort for Grand Prix Speedway. I think it's a fully deserved winner. I think the Swedes also have been royally entertained. A great performance from Lindback and Lindgren. And roll on Gorjov, because we are in for another treat there.
Kelvin, thanks so much indeed for your company. Kelvin Tatum, MBE, alongside me as always. And thanks to Greg Hancock, who joined us earlier as well.